Tonight from Reliance Stadium in Houston, it's the kickoff to the 2012 high school football season. We got it for you right here on Fox Football Friday, and it's the Katy Tigers taking on the Klein Bearkats here at Reliance Stadium. We're glad to have you along for the ride tonight, and welcome into the broadcast, everybody. I'm Lonnie King, joined this year by Ken Moore, and we've got a great one to start things off tonight, Ken. The Katy Tigers, perennial contenders not only for area rights and bragging rights here in the Houston area, but state championships as well.
Absolutely, Lonnie. When you talk about the Katy Tigers, you're talking about a team that always competes for state championships. But this year, it's a team that's built on reloading from last year. A disappointing loss in the third round to LaPorte. Very much unexpected. But now, Coach Gary Joseph trying to get that team on tack. They have a brand new offensive line, also a brand new quarterback, but they still have that same stingy defense. They only gave up double digits one time last year in 2011. They're going to try to start off this season by going through that again. As for Klein, they're kind of on the rebuilding side as they go into their second year with Coach Shane Hallmark.
Yeah, and if you're Shane Hallmark, you may be scratching your head saying, why did I schedule this one to open up the season? But he's got a lot of young talent to build with.
Yeah, absolutely. They're a young team. They made the playoffs just 2 years ago. Last year, a disappointment in his first season, so a rebuilding effort, only went 4-6. But now they enter a big stage against a big-time team in a big-time stadium here at Reliance Stadium here tonight.
It'll be interesting to watch tonight as the evening progresses. Third member of our crew this season, again, we're joined by Jay Darnell. Earlier this week, Jay had a chance to visit with both these head coaches, so let's welcome in Jay to the broadcast tonight.
Hey guys, boy, this atmosphere is already electric, and you're right, Lonnie. Earlier this week, I got a chance to talk to both Coach Gary Joseph of Katy and Coach Shane Hallmark of the Klein Bearkats, and here is some of that. It's a shootout on a big stage that starts out the 2012 season in the Houston area this weekend. The Katy Tigers take on the Klein Bearkats at Reliance Stadium tonight. Both teams feel like they have something to prove coming into this season. For the Katy Tigers, they want to erase the memory of an earlier than expected exit from the playoffs last year, and the Klein Bearkats head coach Shane Hallmark wants to rebound from a season in which his team missed making the Region 2 playoffs after an unbelievably successful 2010 season. Coach Hallmark says that the leadership that's going to help turn around the ship from last year is going to have to come from those guys that have been in the program the longest, his seniors.
Every good football team is led by seniors, and we always want player-led teams that are led by the seniors. We have a good group. They really worked hard. They weren't happy with what happened their junior year, and they've had a lot of resolve and commitment to righting the ship and doing things better.
The Katy Tigers are always loaded with talent, especially in the running game. This year is no exception to that, as Rodney Anderson, who burst on the scene as a freshman last year, looks to pick up right where he left off. But Adam Taylor returns from an injury as well, and Coach Gary Joseph says there's going to be a significant 1-2 punch this year.
Both of them are going to play. You know, that's the whole thing about our program is, you know, you have to have a program built on not one player, you know, putting all the pressure on or putting all the responsibility on. We're very lucky to have two really good ones. Both of them are going to play.
Both coaches say it's a treat to start the season and play at Reliance Stadium, but once the game gets underway, it's going to be business as usual for both of their teams, and it's clear to see that both coaches have a great deal of respect for each other's program.
Klein's a good football team. They're well coached. I think that they do a good job and have good schemes. A lot of tradition over their program, very similar over here. So it's going to be a good ball game.
A lot of guys may not tell you, but we all aspire to be what they are. You know, they've achieved so much in our sport, and they have a lot of admiration from us as coaches, and to get our kids in that environment, we're extremely excited.
Yeah, I tell you what, guys, that was a lot of fun getting to go to Katy High School and Klein High School this week and watching them prepare for a game like this. I'm excited about it. You know, being here at Reliance Stadium is just amazing for the fans, the coaches, the school, and definitely the players here. Lonnie, back up to you.
Thanks, Jay. Great stuff there. You know, Ken, it's interesting to hear Shane Hallmark say he'd like for his program to be like Katy. He's going to get a nice up-close and personal look tonight at him.
Yeah, absolutely. Who doesn't want to be like Katy out here in the greater Houston area or in the entire state of Texas for that matter? But yeah, he's going to get that opportunity tonight to see what his young ball club can do against one of the best teams in the state.
So it could be a very good measuring stick for the Klein Bearkats tonight. For the Katy Tigers, they're just looking to get revved up for the 2012 season. We've got all the action for you coming up straight ahead. Stay with us. We'll be back right here on Fox Football Friday.
It's good to be king. This fall, experience king-size dining, shopping, merriment, and more at the Texas Renaissance Festival. Discount tickets are on sale now at Randall's, Walgreens, Wood Forest National Bank, and online at TexRenFest.com. The Texas Renaissance Festival. Choose your own adventure.
Back here at Reliance Stadium, just about set for tonight's opening kickoff. Lonnie King, Kim Moore, Jay Darnell with you tonight. We're glad you're along for the ride wherever you are around the state of Texas tonight. This is a season opener, Ken, and Katy comes in off a 12-1 record last year. As we mentioned in the open, though, they think that was a couple of games too early to exit last year.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely not what they expected. A very upsetting into the season for the Katy Tigers last year as they rolled through the regular season, dominating every single opponent that they played. As we mentioned, they only gave up more than 10 points one time the entire season last year. And even in that loss to LaPorte, they lost that game 9-7, a tough loss. But now they come into the 2012 season looking to rebound, trying to get that tradition back, trying to make sure that they can take it all the way to a 5A state championship in 2012.
Klein Bearkats had a great season 2 years ago, made it all the way to the Region 2 finals before they were eliminated. And then Coach Stan Labai retires, and in comes Shane Hallmark, moves over from the Hightower program, gets back into the Klein ISD. But he found it a little tough going last year in his first season. 4-6 record finished it up.
Yeah, absolutely. They started off great. They went 3-0 in non-district play, but they really hit some speed bumps when they got into district play, only going 1-6. And again, a very tough district out in 13-5A. And now Coach Shane Hallmark hopes that his Klein Bearkats can get back on track here tonight, and they will receive. They will be going from right to left, and here's the opening kick of the 2012 season.
Barbosa kicks it off for the Katy Tigers. It comes down at the 10-yard line, returned up the right side by Mac Odom, a sophomore who's a backup quarterback. We've got a flag down right now on the opening kickoff, so this one gets underway with a little bit of a hiccup, and we'll see what the flag's about. But we are underway here for the 2012 football season. And Ken, it's great to be back in a stadium and have football down below us.
Man, it's been a long, hot summer, I tell you what, here in the greater Houston area. And fans and us announcers ourselves have longed for this football action. And what a place to start right here in the cozy confines of Reliance Stadium. Now, Klein, they will begin their first offensive possession. Last year, they averaged 20 points a game.
Well, you see from our official offsetting penalties on the opening kickoff. Nice little return here by Odom. You saw the second flag come in there, but Katy was flagged for an illegal formation on the kickoff. So flags on both ends of the field will basically get a mulligan here and start over.
Yeah, both teams will kind of get to work those jitters out, both special teams. And Klein may want to get their receiving team back on the field. Here they come. And but as we mentioned, the Klein Bearkat offense last season produced over 20 points per game, 292 yards of total offense per game. So they want to try to increase that here tonight because they're going to have to put up some big points to try to compete with Katy.
Othello Gibson Mack Odom back deep. The kick will come down this time inside the hash marks. Gibson's going to take it. He runs to his right, has a block, gets to the outside, 30, 35, out across the 40-yard line before he's tripped up and knocked out of bounds. They'll call it the 39. And good starting field position here for the Klein Bearkats.
Yeah, great starting field position for Klein, and that's going to be a key here tonight, Lonnie. They want to keep themselves away from their own end zone. They want to make sure that they can try to control the field possession in this ball game. You don't want to give Katy great field position, and neither do you want to be backed up to your own goal line. They start off great here on their first possession. They're going to go 1st and 10 from their own 39-yard line.
Here on Fox Football Friday, we're just underway at Reliant Stadium. No score yet. The opening kickoff just took place, and the Klein Bearkats head out to the line of scrimmage for their first offensive play of the season. Rainer Osmus, a junior, will be their quarterback. We've got whistles down on the field as the officials are trying to get things squared away. Osmus, an interesting story. We'll talk to Jay about this in just a minute, but he was not to be the starting quarterback, but things changed during the offseason, and he will get the start tonight. Rolls out to his right, throws out in the flat, intended for Othello Gibson, and it's incomplete, dropped out there in the flat. Wouldn't have been much of a gain anyway, but it'll ring up 2nd down and 10. And Jay, as we talked about, Osmus was not supposed to be the starter this year for the Klein Bearkats. Look at the replay again as you see Gibson out in the flat. Pretty good coverage by Quinn Atwood that time.
Yeah, that's a catch that Gibson has to make out in the flat. Just took his eyes off the football. Maybe a little nerves here early on. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
Osmus back under center, offset eye to the left side of the formation. Calls the signal, hands it off, straight up the gut. This is Ham, who gets the carry. David Ham, a junior, burst onto the scene last year for Klein. Had a very good sophomore season, and they expect good things out of him this year. Gets about 4 on the carry. It'll be 3rd down and 6.
Yeah, Ham last season averaged over 5 yards a carry, 822 yards on the season. He had 7 touchdowns, so a very productive year as a sophomore, and now he hopes to duplicate that as a junior.
Big 3rd down play here, opening possession of the ball game. Klein Bearkats, Osmus under center, hands it off. Ham hitting the backfield, and he will be dropped for a loss. Back there first in on the play. Get a number on that freight train. It looks like it was Carson Strickler.
Is that Berry, 43?
Yes, it was. You're right.
Yeah, Cole Berry just shot the gap that time, met the running back in the backfield. And I tell you what, as a former tailback, that's the worst thing you want to see. As soon as you get your hands on the football, you got a linebacker shooting through the gap. But he dropped him in the backfield for a 2-yard loss. It's going to be a 3-and-out for Klein on their first possession.
At the 40-yard line, they will have to kick the ball away, and lined up in punt formation. Twin safeties back deep for the Katy Tigers, and pretty good kick gotten off. And it'll send the return man, and that is
Ryan Anderson.
Anderson back to the 15. He's out across the 20, though, 25 and out to the 26-yard line.
Yeah, good return that time. A great punt all the way back inside the 20-yard line. And you talk about what a duo to have back there returning punts, Ryan Anderson and Kevin Folks.
Yeah.
Wow.
Folks and Anderson, and we'll see who gets the start tonight. Whether it's Anderson at tailback or Adam Taylor. Gary Joseph told us they're both going to get a lot of playing time, and actually they're both going to come out. Ronnie Anderson will line up in a slot, and Adam Taylor will be in at the tailback. And there you see the starters. Kylie Huddleston gets the start under center, hands it off. It's Taylor, takes it to the right side of the formation, out across the 28 to the 30-yard line. Give him 2 yards on the carry. It'll be 2nd down and 8.
Yeah, and it's been a long comeback road for Adam Taylor. He got hurt, tore his knee up in the first game last season, missed basically the entire 2011 season, but now he starts off fresh here in 2012.
Huddleston, a 6-foot junior under center for Katy. Single back in the eye. Motion from right to left is Cameron Delgado. Here's a handoff. It is Taylor again, and he's out across the 35 to the 36. Good yardage on that carry. Picks up 6. It'll be 3rd and short.
Yeah, running over the right side of that offensive line, and that's going to be key here for Katy here early on in the non-district portion of their schedule. They want to get that offensive line on track. A lot of seniors on that line, but a lot of guys who are playing their first varsity game.
3rd and 2, rolling down to the 9-minute mark here in the first quarter of play. I formation in behind the quarterback. Huddleston looks over the defense. Pitch back, goes right side, left side, and it will be Taylor, and he's out across the 45 to the 47, call it the 48-yard line, and that is a first down, the first of the season for the Katy Tigers.
Yeah, you saw on that possession it was a run up the middle, then a run to the right. They come back with the toss pitch to the left side. Great blocking out front from that offensive line. Receivers getting downfield, putting a hand in as well. And now Katy with their first down, 1st and 10 at the 48.
Officials move the chains. Back to the line of scrimmage come the Tigers. Wing back to the right side, delayed, handoff. Taylor slips a tackle, slips another out across midfield into Klein territory, all the way down to the 46-yard line. Give him 6 on the play, and it'll be 2nd and short again.
There's been a heavy dose of Adam Taylor here early on. He's carried the ball on all 4 possessions so far here for Katy. Yet to see Kylie Huddleston drop back and pass, but I feel a play-action pass coming up pretty soon here for the young quarterback.
We'll see what they do as they come to the line of scrimmage. They send a receiver out to either side. Delgado shows motion back toward the line of scrimmage. Now he comes all the way across. Handed off, fullback with a quick hitter up the middle. Almost a mix-up on the exchange there, but carrying it down inside the 40-yard line. Looks like Caleb Sinclair that time.
Yeah, Sinclair, the 5'9", 185-pound senior fullback, getting a little dose here early on as he picks up 3 yards. It'll be 3rd down, less than a yard, just inside the 43-yard line of Klein. Big possession here, probably in 2-down territory here for Katy if they don't make it on here on 3rd down.
To the line of scrimmage they come, inches away from moving the chains again. Huddleston, quick throw, swings it out, has a man in the slot, and that is Anderson. Slips a tackle down the sideline, still on his feet inside the 10-5, touchdown.
Where, dare I say, the dynamic Rodney Anderson has struck again, this time as a receiver in the slot. Takes a little simple pass, makes a couple of defenders miss, tiptoes down the sideline into the end zone. Great run by Anderson.
What about the element of surprise there as well? 3rd and inches, not when you think or might think that Katy would attempt their first pass of the game.
Well, you know, that's what Katy does. They try to catch you off balance. They run when you expect them to pass, and they pass when you expect them to run.
Extra point attempt is good. And our first score of the season belongs to the Katy Tigers. Comes with 7:03 to go in the first quarter of play, and it gives them a 7-0 lead. Reliant has put it on the board for the Klein Bearkats, but I'm sure the Katy fans will want that changed. And we'll take a break and come back with the kickoff when we return. We're going to keep it right here at Reliant Stadium, 7-0 Katy Tigers after that impressive opening drive, Ken.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a pretty quick drive as they made quick work of that Klein Bearkat offense. 72-yard drive in 6 plays. The big one, the last one, Huddleston, his first throw as a high school quarterback on the varsity level, kind of reminds you of what Andrew Luck did in his first preseason game. His first pass, just a little slant turned into a touchdown, and Huddleston, a little swing pass to Rodney Anderson, and Anderson takes it the distance for the score.
It's going to look like a big number for the quarterback, but Anderson did the bulk of the work on that to get the score on the board. And they're ready to kick it off again. Brandon Barbosa, 5'9" junior, tees it up for the second time tonight. This time he will get a running start at the football with a 7-0 lead. Odom and Gibson back deep again. Gibson waiting on this one, comes down at the 10-yard line, takes it right side, dodges a tackle, makes a man miss out across the 30, flag down behind him, And this one will come back, but he's out to the 35-yard line. Gibson showing again some good moves on that kickoff return.
Yeah, they're going to get a block in the back, unfortunately, for Klein against Nick Catterlaw, the tight end, playing special teams. The referees actually let him get away with the first block in the back. He got up and he did it again, and they finally went ahead and threw the penalty flag.
10 yards from the spot of the foul, says our lead referee tonight, Joe Ray. He's joined by Bill Arnold, the umpire. Head linesman is Steve Braswell, Mike Mulcahy, and Andre Morgan round out the crew tonight. You see the return again by Gibson.
Yeah, you saw 17 get up and just got that push in the back, and now Klein, after having good field position on their first possession of the ball game, they're going to be backed up inside their own 20 now as they'll start it at their 16.
Yeah, they would have been out of around the 35 for this possession as well, but instead, as you say, inside the 20. 1st and 10, they're going to work from the shotgun on this possession. Osmus, 2 backs, split to either side. He will look to throw on 1st down, swings it out, intended for Gibson. Overthrown. Gibson got a hand on it and almost set up a pick there for the Katy Tigers as Isaiah Brown was in the vicinity.
Yeah, nearly a tip drill that time. And again, as we take a look at it, just drops back, just a little out pattern, and that's a catch that Gibson has to make. That's his second drop here early in the ball game, and that young man's going to have to get those jitters out. He's looked good on his kickoff returns, but not so good as a receiver so far.
2nd down and 10 from the 16. This time Osmus goes up under center, pitch back. It goes to the left side. It's Ham with the football out across the 15 to about the 19-yard line. Coming up off the stack again in very excited fashion is Jake Blomstrom, linebacker, junior, 225 pounds.
All right, this is a tough Katy defense, as we mentioned, only giving up double digits once the entire 2011 season, and now they have Klein in another 3rd and long situation, 3rd down and 7.
Got a big senior anchoring that front line in Matt Diamond. And we'll keep an eye on him tonight, number 94 in red. He's coveted by a lot of teams at the next level. I formation. Play fake. Gonna drop to throw, and Osmus swings it out. It is almost caught, but hit at the last minute. Perfect timing. Tanner Seeberger looked like the intended receiver, but knocked away from the football just at the last minute.
Yeah, Chris Harper with a tremendous break on the football to get there just in time to break it up. Tremendous timing that time by Harper. Great play defensively.
So now that'll bring up 4th down on the 3rd and 7 play. They could not connect, and so another punting situation for the Klein Bearkats. From his own 6-yard line, gets the kick away, and it comes down to Rodney Anderson. He muffs it, picks it up at the 41. Now he runs to his left, gets the corner, still on his feet. Cuts back toward the heart of the field, but he's going to be wrapped up inside the 40 at the 36. And every time he gets a hand on that football, you'd think for a minute he could go. Watch it again.
Rodney Anderson is the most dangerous offensive and special teams weapon on this field for Katy. Just a sophomore. He had a tremendous freshman season last season when he stepped in for Adam Taylor. And this season, I mean, he had over 1,100 yards, 16 touchdowns last year as a freshman. So this kid is very dynamic.
Hey, Lonnie, can you hear me now?
We got you now, Jay.
There we go. You know, he was talking about Rodney Anderson, and he is a stud, don't get me wrong. But Adam Taylor, this guy is a beast. I can't wait for him to break one off.
Here he is up the middle on 1st down and carries it inside the 35 down to about the 33-yard line. And it's just like Katy. It seems like every year the Katy Tigers have, you know, not just one really good running back, but 2, maybe even 3. And that's the case this year. We've got a running back in Bickham that's Ricky Bickham, who is a senior, and he would be starting on most other teams in the city. I formation. Huddleston Pitch back. It's Taylor. Cuts back toward the middle of the line and has a hole open up down inside the 30 to about the 29-yard line. It'll bring up 3rd and short.
Hey, guys, I tell you what, this Klein defense, especially mainly the defensive line, they're just flat out not big enough. If Katy wanted to, they could run up the middle all night long. This Klein defense just flat out, they cannot stop Katy up the middle. There's no way.
Holes are opening up big and wide up the middle of that front for the Tigers, and they're back to the line of scrimmage with 3rd down, and we'll call it a short 4. Hand off, Taylor runs to the right side. He's going to be wrapped up at the 25-yard line, but Ken, there it is again. A big hole opens up, and he's got 5 yards before anybody in a white jersey is there to meet him.
Yeah, absolutely. He's picking up in small chunks right now is Adam Taylor. 2 yards here, 4 yards there, 6 yards here. But after 3 plays, you got a new set of downs, 1st and 10 at the 25. And you got to give credit to Coach Gary Joseph. He's finding a place on the field for all of his athletes. We saw Anderson in the slot earlier to score that touchdown.
4-minute mark here in the first quarter of play. 7-0 Katy. Huddleston wants to throw across the middle. Has a man. It's complete inside the 15 all the way down to the 10-yard line. And that is Sloan Spiller, a 6-foot senior who was just wide open in the middle of the field.
Yeah, somebody forgot about the tight end on that play as he just snuck into the secondary.
Got a little pick from the umpire.
I was about to say he did get a little pick from the umpire there to help him get free. But a 16-yard pass play, and it's 1st and goal for the Tigers.
Just inside the 10-yard line, I formation in behind Huddleston. Now they shift the set, go with an H-back to the right, and the tight end shifts to the left. Here is Taylor. He's going to carry it to the right side, but this time he's wrapped up, and out there to get a hand on him and not let go is Bennett Sterling. The big senior linebacker did a good job that time to drop him for about a yard loss.
Yeah, good read and react play that time by Sterling as he just ran down the line of scrimmage, was able to avoid the block from the offensive tackle and able to make the hit in the backfield on Taylor, dropping him for a 1-yard loss. First negative play for Katy so far this evening. It'll be 2nd and goal from the 10.
They come back to the line of scrimmage, going to split out 2 receivers to the left side. That's the wide side of the field. Offset the eye to that side as well. Hand it off, and they go back up the middle. Spin move by Taylor inside the 5. He'll get down to about the 4-yard line before he's stacked up. And it'll be 3rd down and goal inside the 5.
But that was just a terrible tackle attempt that time by the defensive back, Ari Hoffler, coming up from his safety position. As you watch it right here, as Taylor goes through, you got a dead aim and you duck your head. You can't do that as a defensive player. You got to square up, pop that running back right in the chest.
So mark it at the 4. We roll down to the 2-minute, 10-second mark to go here in the first quarter. Power eye in behind Huddleston this time. Now Anderson goes in motion away from the line. Pitch it to Taylor, left side, cuts to the corner. He's got the angle, he's got the end zone. Adam Taylor matches Rodney Anderson, and the score is 13-0 with the extra point attempt to come.
Well, again, you see the toss sweep here to the left side, and again, you see Hoffler come through with an opportunity to make the tackle, but he couldn't get there in time, and Taylor just using his tremendous speed to get to the corner of the end zone, and Katy with a quick 2-touchdown lead.
A little credit to Anderson that time with the lead block that kind of sealed that off to allow him to get to the edge, and the extra point attempt is up, and it is good. And so now, with 1:58 to go here in the first quarter of play, our new score on the board is Katy 14 and Klein nothing. And now for the 3rd time here in the first quarter, the Tigers will get to kick it off. As you see across the way, the Klein Bearkat fans that are here, band and drill team down in the left corner across the way. The Katy band down below us here, and their drill team here as well. A big stadium, and this is a big weekend for Reliant Stadium. They had the Texans' final preseason game here last night. They've got this one here tonight. They've got a college game here tomorrow night.
Yeah, you got the Labor Day Classic here tomorrow night, and I guarantee you this place will be jam-packed tomorrow for Texas Southern and Prairie View. So a trifecta of football action on every level, high school, college, and pro. So the football season getting kicked off with a bang here at Reliance Stadium. And I'll tell you what, if you've been longing for it all summer like us, it's a tremendous day to be watching some high school football.
And hey, Lonnie, I tell you what, if you receive the kickoff 3 times in the first quarter, that's usually not a good sign.
Well, Klein is about to get that sign. Here's a high short kick now. Barbosa's already working on the situational kicks here in the first quarter. That's not a good sign either, but short kick is fair caught at about the 30-yard line. That's Joshua Atherton, a tight end. He's a senior on special teams who makes the fair catch, and Klein will set up at the 30-yard line.
Well, we'll see what Coach Hallmark comes out in his play call. In the first 2 possessions, he went to those short pass plays to Gibson, and he dropped them both on first down. They have to get positive yardage on first down, so we'll see if maybe they try to run it here on first down to try to get some positive yardage.
Under center, Osmus looks over the defense, I formation in behind him, and he bobbles the snap. He's got a fall on it at the 29-yard line, and those are the kind of mistakes that when you're going up against the Katy Tigers, you really can't afford to make. You've almost got to have perfect execution when you're playing against a team as good as Katy. And those sort of, as minor as they may be, and it wasn't catastrophic because he fell on the football, but now you're looking at 2nd and 11.
Right, exactly. And again, you put yourself behind the 8 ball on 2nd down. You've had 2 2nd and 10s, your first 2 possessions. Now you're 2nd and 11 here on your 3rd possession. And that just plays right into the hand of this aggressive Tiger defense.
Osmus sends a man in motion across, and there's a bobble again, and this time it's Katy on top of the football. We'll see who's going to come up off the pile with it. But just a couple of bad exchanges on the 2 snaps there. And I believe that time, I called his number earlier. I think Carson Strickler got it that time.
Was that 22 Asham? Colton?
Was it 22? I had 25. We'll see here.
Take a look at it.
A big scramble there.
No matter who it is, it's a red shirt, so that's really all that matters at the end of the day. And Katy set up nicely right again inside Bearcat territory at the 22-yard line, so a very short field once again for the Tigers to work with.
Klein just looking up at the scoreboard here in the first quarter, -4 total yards here in the first quarter of play. Katy back to the line of scrimmage. 1:11 to go in the first quarter. Huddleston wants to throw across the middle. Almost picked off. Almost gift wrap there for the middle linebacker, Sam Odom. He is one of the best in the city, but that time he could not hang on, and he could have maybe run for a little while.
That one hit him in a bad spot. As you see, Huddleston on the play fake had plenty of time, just did not read the defense correctly, and Sam Odom hit him in a bad place right in the hands, and he dropped it. So Katy will get another opportunity here from the 22.
2nd down and 10 from that spot. I formation, handoff, tailback. And it will be Taylor, or is that Anderson? It is Anderson, 26 instead of 28. And he will carry it inside the 20 down to about the 17-yard line. Give him 4 yards on the carry, 3rd and 6 to come.
You talk about the tremendous depth, as Jay mentioned earlier. You got Taylor, you have Ryan Anderson, you got Ricky Bigham, who hasn't even gotten into the ball game yet, but I'm sure we'll see him as the game progresses. A great trio of tailbacks here at Katy.
Offset I, left side of the formation, 2 receivers out to that side as well. Ball in between the hash marks, rolling left, throwing out in the flat, has a man, and it is complete. And coming up with the catch over there is Trey Dunn, a 6', 165-pound senior receiver on this team.
Yeah, Dunn wide open over just standing on the sideline, you know, all by himself. Got himself a bucket of popcorn, then caught the pass, got it down to the 10, first and goal.
Bring it back to the line of scrimmage. I formation. Double tight end set. Motion this time. Here's a handoff. It's Anderson. Big hole into the end zone. Touchdown.
Well, doesn't get much easier than that for Ryan Anderson. He could have drove a Corvette through that hole as we watch it open up right through the middle. Even his fullback didn't even have anyone to block. I mean, the fullback went through untouched. Wow. Great work by that Katy offensive front. I guess that puts to bed any questions Coach Gary Joseph had about his young offensive line.
Extra point attempt is up, and it is good. And that comes on the final play of the first quarter here at Reliant Stadium. So 1 quarter in the books here at Reliant, and it's all Katy Tigers here in the first quarter, 21-0. We'll take a break and come back here on Fox Football Friday.
Texans checking account with First Community Credit Union, and you could win a trip to the big game in New Orleans. Just visit TexansChecking.com and open your account. Signing up is easy and free. You'll get a customized Texans debit card. And best of all, you could win a trip to New Orleans for the big game or other great prizes like trips to Texans road games and the 2013 draft in New York City. Be a fanatic. Visit TexansChecking.com and sign up for your chance to win. First Community Credit Union, the official credit union of the Houston Texans.
When you're thinking of changing jobs or you're an employer needing to hire personnel, then you need to talk with Matter Staffing Services. Matter Staffing has been in business for over 4 decades and is one of the largest staffing services in the Houston area, servicing a national market. Matter Staffing has specialists wanting to serve you in the areas of engineering, accounting, administrative support, industrial, IT, marketing, and many other job categories. They have 7 locations to serve your staffing needs. Call 713-941-0616 and they can direct you to the office nearest you. Matter Staffing on Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn.
$21-0 after 1 quarter here. Katy Tigers are going to start off the second quarter like they did the first with a kickoff. And it's another high short one. This one's going to hit the ground, and somebody's got to pick it up. It is finally picked up out on the wing, a short kick, and Isaiah Landor makes the pick up, and he carries that out across the 30 to the 35-yard line, and that's where Klein will set up shop. Now, Ken, Bearkats have had, except on one of the possessions in the first quarter, very good field position to start their drives in the first half.
Yeah, they just have to be productive on first down. They have to get some positive yardage on first down. You look at the first half stats, Klein, -4 yards of total offense, -4 yards on the ground, 0 yards passing. That's what Katy will do to you if you are not productive on first down. As for Katy, they had 130 yards of total offense, almost split down the middle, 63 on the ground, 67 through the air.
Swing pass out in the flat. It is caught. That's Othello Gibson. He drops it as he hits the turf.
Fumbled it.
And they're going to say it came out before he went down, and it's a turnover back to the Katy Tigers.
Wow, Gibson is having a nightmare of a first half catching and holding on to the football. He caught that one. It was actually a lateral, so it'll probably get credited. Well, they're going to give him a pass reception on it, 2 yards on the pass play. But then he coughs it up. You see him make the reception there. That's good. But as he's going down, the ball just gets punched away. There, a great defensive play by Isaiah Brown to poke it away. And now Katy, once again, back in business inside the Bearcat 40.
I'm not sure that that he was not down before that one came out. Jay was down there. First down, though, for Katy, and throw across the middle intended for Delgado from Huddleston. It's incomplete. Pretty good coverage that time by the Klein secondary. In the vicinity was Joel Friedman, a senior DB.
Yeah, it was close to him being down. I don't know if his knee had actually touched the turf, but it was pretty close. But, again, the kid's got to hold on to the football.
Second down and 10. Ball at the 37-yard line in Klein territory. H-back offset to the left side. Pitch back. It goes to Taylor, who's back in at tailback this series, and he takes it to the right, follows his lead block from the fullback, gets down inside the 35 to the 33-yard line. Give him 4. We'll call it 2nd and 6. They need to get to the 27.
Yep. Now we'll see if this Klein defense can try to come up with a big stop. They need a big stop here on 3rd down. Try to keep this Katy offense from running away with this football game.
Andrew Inglet checks in as a wide receiver, splits out to the right side. Play fake. Huddleston rolls out to his left, throws, and had a man intended for Trey Dunn, and it slips through his hands and goes incomplete.
Yeah, Dunn just dropped that one on the sideline at that time, just took his eyes off the football, and it'll be a 4th down now for Katy, and probably a little long for a field goal attempt, and with them being inside the 35-yard line, looks like they're going to keep the offense on the field and go for it here on 4th down.
Hey, guys, I was right here in front of that fumble. That was definitely a very good call. That indeed was a fumble.
Good job, Jay.
Huddleston back to the line of scrimmage. This time he's going to line up in the pistol, and that's Taylor in behind him. Going to throw from that formation, looks across the middle. Anderson in the slot, makes the catch, slips a tackle into the end zone, touchdown.
Lonnie, that is unbelievable. There was nobody lined up. The only person lined up on Rodney Anderson in the slot was a safety who was 15 yards back. All he did was run to that 1st down marker almost like a slant, wide open, make an easy catch, make one man miss, and you're there. That's too easy right now.
Yeah, that's just a bad angle by the safety coming up. And as you mentioned, Jay, no one over Anderson to begin to play, and just a defensive breakdown in the secondary by Klein.
Extra point attempt. This one put up by Manny Mendoza, a 5'7" senior, and it is no good. So there's the first thing that has not gone right for Katy tonight, with 10:55 to go here in the second quarter of play. But the new score on the board is 27-0. So if you're going to misfire on anything, extra points for Katy are not a big problem. Of course, if you're Gary Joseph, and we've gotten the opportunity to be around Coach Joseph a couple of years, but he's not going to be happy even with the 27-0 lead when they misfire on an extra point attempt.
Yeah, you know he's a perfectionist, so he's definitely not going to be happy about that. But Katy, once again, taking advantage of 2 Klein turnovers here in the first half and immediately turning them into touchdowns. And Ryan Anderson, you talk about the sophomore putting on a show, a 42-yard touchdown reception, a 33-yard touchdown reception, and sandwiched in between a 10-yard touchdown run. And it's been the Ryan Anderson show so far here in the first half for Katy.
Barbosa going to wear his leg out here in the first half. He's ready to kick it off for the 5th time tonight already. Here, just 13 minutes and some change gone from this ball game. Kick comes down. Othello Gibson takes it at the 10, runs it to his right. Slips back, up the numbers, and out across the 40. A very good return for Gibson, and it'll give Klein, again, great starting field position. Last time, though, some bobbles on the exchange, and they turned the ball over right away. We'll see what they do this time.
Now, Gibson, you got to give him credit. He has been tremendous on these kickoff returns. Good blocking over on the right side. He shows tremendous burst once he gets into the open field. So he has been outstanding on the kickoff portion of this ball game.
Yeah, and I guess there's another area that maybe Gary Joseph won't be too happy about, the yardage that Gibson has gotten on these returns tonight.
Well, special team guys are tired. I mean, those are long 60-yard sprints these guys are running in the first game of the season.
Hand off, it's Ham, and he carries it to the left side of the formation, stays in between the tackles, gets out to about the 45-yard line. Give him 2 yards on the carry. It'll be 2nd down and 8. I would imagine if you're Shane Hallmark right now here, taking it toward halftime, modified goal is to just try and generate some positive numbers when you've got the football.
Well, first goal would be to get a first down. They still do not have a first down in this ball game, and we have 10 minutes here to go in the second period.
With that 2-yard gain, though, they're back up to 0 total yards, so they're not in the negative numbers anymore, at least for the moment. I formation. And Osmus play fake. Almost broken up. He's got a man wide open and can't hang on to it. It's Mac Odom, the sophomore. He's a backup quarterback, but lines up at wide receiver as well, and he was wide open in the flat.
Well, I tell you what we got here, Lonnie. We got a team where the stage and the environment and the atmosphere may be a little bit too big for these kids right now. You're seeing a lot of drop balls, receivers wide open, fumble snaps, and a lot of times you will get that with a young team, especially playing a big-time opponent in a big-time atmosphere that Klein is facing here tonight.
They'll go from the shotgun this time. 2-back set. One off of either shoulder for Osmus. From his own 40, he'll drop back, throws out in the flat. It's Gibson, has it across the 45, out to about the 49-yard line. Line of scrimmage was the 45. They'll mark it at the 48, and we'll call it 4th down and about 4 yards to go from that spot. And what do you do here, Ken? You're down by 4 touchdowns. Not sure you've really got anything to lose if you go for it here.
No, not really. I mean, it's a 4th and manageable situation. Looks like they're going to send the punt team in after thinking about it. I mean, you hate to give Katy great field position once again, which you probably want to go ahead and kick it away. Hope that, your punter's done a good job so far with some nice booming kicks, and you just try to hope for a break. Maybe you can get a special teams play.
Movement in the line as the snap goes back to Sam Odom, and he just catches it and puts it on his hip. We're going to do this again, probably 5 yards further back. So now Katy looks like they'll change up their special teams unit, and they're going to set up twin guys deep. Look like set up a return maybe this time.
Yeah, you got Rodney Anderson back there.
Isaiah Brown.
Along with Isaiah Brown,
Odom waits on the snap at his 31, gets a kick away, and this one's a low, wobbly kick. It's going to bound at the 27 and just roll dead right at the 25. So no opportunity for a return for Katy, and they'll start this possession at their own 25. 8 minutes, 50 seconds to go here in the first half of play, and Katy with a 27-0 lead here in the opening game of our 2012 season.
And now if you're Klein, you want to try to get some momentum on the defensive side of the football. Somebody's going to have to make a big play. Try to strip the football, maybe a blitz. Try to put some pressure on this Katy offense.
Sinclair at fullback. And here's a handoff to Fulks as he cuts around on the jet sweep, rolls it outside the 30 and out across the 35 before he's bumped out of bounds. And there's his first touch of the night. Kyle Fulks is an exciting player, defensive back on this team for a couple of seasons, and he's going to get some starts on offense as well this year.
Yeah, absolutely, folks. He's a track star on that Katy track team. He did catch 21 passes last season for 361 yards, had 5 touchdowns, so they'll try to get his hands on the football as well. He's an exciting player.
35-yard line, that's first down territory. 1st and 10. Pistol formation, Huddleston hands it off. Taylor, the tailback, takes it out right side and gets out for 5 yards to the 40-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 5 from there.
Now this Klein defense, as Jay mentioned earlier, they're a little bit small when you compare them to the big boys of Katy, and they're starting to get some hands on hips already midway through this second quarter.
Well, suffice to say, this is going to be a very trying season for Klein. We'll talk about the district they're in here in just a minute. Here's a pitch sweep to the left side. It's Anderson. Breaks, or check it, it's Taylor. He thought he was grabbed by the face mask, but he spun out of bounds at the 37-yard line. The Katy fans down below us aren't real happy with it. Let's take a look at it again and see if he's got an argument here.
Yeah, he's running here over the left side, and he breaks into the clear. And, yeah, there's a handful right on the face mask. Getting away with that was B.J. Fashola. And here comes the penalty flag. Well, now, wait a minute now. You can't do that.
Well, yeah, they can. They did the right thing there. They grouped together. They talked about it. One of the officials said, hey, I couldn't see it. He had a bad angle. Another guy came in and said, hey, I saw it perfectly. It was a good call. And that's what you want the officials to do, is get together, talk about it, make the right call. And they did there.
So I guess we have instant replay at the high school level
now. No, absolutely not. He was not looking at that board. He saw it clearly live. He came up there, said what he saw, and they made the call. They did not look at the screen at all.
Fair enough.
Pistol formation as they move the ball down to the 22-yard line. That'll be 1st and 10 for Katy, and now they're deep into Klein territory, and the officials get the ball reset, start the play clock.
That's why we pay Jay the big bucks, to be down on the field, to know what those referees are looking at.
He's always taking up for the officials. He's tight with those guys. They love him, and he loves them. Folks makes the catch.
Wait a second. Last year was the total opposite.
That's the joke.
See, I wasn't here last year, so I don't know.
We'll have to tell Ken a little bit more about Jay's relationship with the officials.
Those fans went crazy, and I saw that yellow flag come out. That's all I know.
Huddleston under center. Sinclair slides to the right, pitch it to Taylor. He runs right behind him, stays on his feet. He's stacked up close to the first down marker.
Taylor again running over that right side of that big offensive front. And we get a look here. You see the big tight end, number 88, out getting a block on him, Sloan Spiller. He goes 6 feet, 225, and he's going to come up just about a half yard short of the first down as they mark it at the 13.
So they'll send Dunn out to the right side. Now he shows motion back to the left. Handed off tailback, and it's going to be a first down for Taylor inside the 5-yard line as he just barrels his way to 1st and goal at the 4.
And that's just a quick little trap, little inside trap that time. And you see a great block by the fullback as he just chops down the linebacker, and a good, strong run by Taylor as he puts all the force. And he's looking good in his first game back from that devastating knee injury that he suffered a year ago.
He's a big kid, too, a big straight up and down runner, 6'1", 225, or they list him at 210. He's a senior, and as Ken mentioned earlier, missed a lot of his junior season last year with an injury, an ACL, but he's back this year. Play fake to him on 1st and goal, and now Huddleston dodges a defender, carries it himself, tucks it under, and gets down close to the goal line. They're going to spot him just outside the 1-yard line.
Yeah, just a little one of those famous Katy bootlegs. Good defensive play, but he just overruns the play, does the defender. And a great move that time by the quarterback, Huddleston, to make something out of nothing. It's going to make it 3rd and goal just outside the 2-yard line.
Bring it to the line of scrimmage, power I, and now they send Anderson in motion, hand it off. Taylor straight up the middle, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Katy Tigers.
Well, nothing fancy about that play. You block the man that's in front of you, and my running back is going to take it over the goal line. That's what you call that play.
And the O-line got such good push, they pushed the D-line back 2 or 3 yards. Those guys are blocking 1 yard into the end zone, so Taylor had an easy trot in for the score. Mendoza up with the kick. This one strikes the mark, and it is good. And so our score now, 5:24 to go in the first half. Katy 34 and Klein nothing.
Footage was captured at a local grocery store. This man just took money from his bank that wasn't in his account. Did you catch it? Let's see that again. There, he just got 10 cents back for every $10 or more purchase on his debit card, with cashback counts checking from Community Bank. Imagine a bank that actually pays you to use your debit card. Swipe all you can from your bank. Community Bank of Texas. Bank where you live.
Back in Reliance Stadium, Lonnie King, Kim Moore, Jay Darnell, the whole crew here with you from Fox Football Friday. We're glad you're along for the ride this year. New wrinkle to the Fox Football Friday show that we're happy to add in this year. Jeff Power, Travis Stewart. Of course, this weekend up in Argyle for the big game up there. And we're happy to provide a little extra flavor from the Houston area for you tonight. I'm glad you're along for the ride. Katy's got a 34-0 lead, and so they are off to a good start here in the 2012 season. Barbosa will get a toe into it and brings it down at the 11. This one comes down to Mac Odom. Runs up the near side. He's got a lane, one man to beat, and he's going to be bumped out of bounds across midfield. Fulks made the touchdown-saving tackle at the 46-yard line of Katy.
Well, one thing about Klein, they have looked very good on their return game. As you see, Mac Odom with a tremendous burst of speed. And as you mentioned, just had one man to beat. Couldn't beat him to the corner. But again, Klein setting up with good field position, this time on the plus side of the 50 at the Katy 46.
Still minus 2 yards rushing here in the first half for Klein, 6 passing yards, so 4 total yards, and they will try to build on that. I formation, receiver out to either side of the formation. Tight end is tight to the right side. Handed off, it's David Ham, second back through, and he's going to be wrapped up at the line of scrimmage. Good penetration that time. Didn't get the number. I think it might have been Diamond that got in there and broke that play up. He didn't get the tackle, but forced it to the outside where Katy was able to string it out. We roll under 5 minutes to go till halftime.
Well, the problem for Klein so far is, again, been their first down efficiency. Again, no gain there, so now you're looking at a 2nd and long situation.
46-yard line, 2nd down and 10 to be exact. 2 receivers out to the right side. Offset eye to that side as well. Play fake. Osmus wants to throw into coverage. 4 men around his intended receiver that time, Isaiah Landor. And
we got a late flag coming in, a little pushing match that time, I think, between Diamond and Grant Harmon, the junior offensive lineman for Klein. So we'll see how this goes.
Well, they get Diamond for unnecessary roughness. We say Diamond. They won't announce a number here, but as Ken mentioned, he was mixing it up a little bit. So here comes the first down. Is that the first or the second?
That is the first. I will double check, but I believe that is the first down. Yes, it is the first down of the ball game for Klein via penalty.
4:26 to go in the first half.
You'll take them any way you can get them against this defense.
That's right. Katy still has the advantage in first downs, 13-1 here in the first half. From the shotgun, quarterback keeper draw up the middle, and this time it was Mac Odom, the sophomore, who took that snap, and he's down inside the 30, close to the 25. They'll say his knee hit at the 27, give him 4 yards, and Odom's going to come right back out. Osmus will come back in under center for the second down play.
The Mac Odom / Tebow package. As he comes in and fakes the pass and a little jump pass and picks up some positive yardage on first down. That's the best first down play they've had the entire ball game. So now, 2nd and 6.
Physically, nobody's going to mistake Mac for Tim Tebow. They're built a little bit differently. Here's a play fake on second down. Osmus has his back out of the backfield, and actually that's the fullback, Jordan Hebert, a junior. He makes the catch inside the 25 down to the 23.
Yeah, good quick pass that time by Osmus as he had a defender flying at him. Good poise to make a good throw to the fullback, and they pick up a couple of more, so it's going to be 3rd and short now. 3rd down and 3 for Klein.
A little bit of a drive going here, and this would be something to build on for the Bearcats. You hear the Katy fans down below. Klein across the way. They're both trying to encourage their teams on the field. Hand it off. It's Ham up the middle, and he's going to be stacked up. He won't have the first down. Gets to the line of scrimmage, maybe falls forward for a yard. It's still going to be about 4th and 2 to go, though, when they unravel.
Yeah, you definitely go for it in this situation. Down 34-zip, under 3 minutes to go here in the first half. And now you're in plus situation, and they will go for it here on 4th down, and we'll call it a short 3 if there is such a thing.
Back in there in the middle of that play again, as he has been quite often here in the first half, was Jake Blomstrom. Now I formation in behind Osmus. He looks out to his receiver to the right. That is Landor, goes under center. And it looks like he might be trying to draw Katy offside. They're going to let the play clock roll down, and they're going to take a timeout here with 2:03 to go, and they'll talk it over. I don't think any strategy change here. You're still going to go for it on 4th down. But
yeah, absolutely. I think they were just trying to draw Katy offside, but the Tigers are a very disciplined defensive unit. They didn't fall for that game, so they stalled them out. Makes Klein use one of their timeouts. 2:03 to go here in the first half, and we kind of take a look at some of the numbers here in the first half while we have an opportunity. Katy totally dominating this game on the scoreboard and statistically as well, as they have 227 yards of total offense. Klein with only 12 yards of offense here in the first half. Their only first down picked up via penalty moments ago on that personal foul against Katy. But now the Bearcats, at least if they can try to pick up this first down, try to go into the halftime with some points to try to get them some positive momentum and some good vibes going into halftime.
It'll be a big momentum booster for the Bearcats if they can keep this drive alive here. 2:03 to go till halftime. It's 4th down and 2 at the 23-yard line. They need to get to the 21 to keep the drive alive here against this Katy defense. Osmus with the I formation in behind him, goes under center. Single receiver to either side, tight end tight to the right side. Handed off David Ham, straight up the middle. Plows into the pile, and I don't think he got it. From where the officials are spotting it, he might have lost a yard, and the ball is going to go back over to the Katy Tigers.
Yeah, it's going to be a turnover on downs as they tried to run him right into the meat of that Katy defensive front. And Ham had nowhere to go. A sea of red jerseys corralled him at the line of scrimmage. The Katy defense holds, and you know they want to preserve that shutout, at least for the first half, and they'll take over. 1:57 to go here before halftime. Reliance Stadium here in Houston. Katy on top, 34-zip.
Rodney Anderson will line up at tailback in behind Huddleston. Delay, handed to him, almost tripped up from behind, but slips away and carries a tackler out across the 25 to about the 30. That was Alex Crump, a senior linebacker, just riding the back of Rodney Anderson. He still picks up about 6 yards on the play.
Yeah, Anderson, this kid is a beast. I mean, he is unbelievable. They mark him at 6 foot, 190 pounds, just a sophomore. And he drags defenders. He has tremendous speed. Great all-around athlete.
Second down, 6 yards to go as they come back to the line of scrimmage. Two receivers will split out to the right side. And a handoff. Anderson, he goes to the right, has a block. A hole opens up, and he's out across the 35 to the 40-yard line, and that'll be plenty enough for a first down.
And Anderson, again, just dragging defenders with him on his coattails, running along that right side. Gets a good kick-out block that time by Ben Schabernack, the senior offensive guard, with a good block. Help him pick up another Katy first down. Their 14th of the first half.
1st and 10 at the 40. Fulks shows motion right to left. Roll that way. Does Huddleston. He wants to throw. Has Fulks down the sideline. Makes the catch. Falls out of bounds. No, they're going to say he did not have possession as he went out of bounds. It's incomplete. Almost a spectacular play.
Yeah, I think he lost it when he hit the ground. Great throw that time on the rollout by Huddleston, rolling to his left, throwing across his body. Hit Fulks right in motion, but he just couldn't hold on as he hit that Reliance Stadium turf.
2nd down and 10. We may see him come back to that play sometime later on tonight. Fulks went to the sideline, but now he heads back out.
Little first game mix-up here for Katy. You don't see that often. Fulks comes in, and
Gary Joseph is not happy. He had to use up a timeout there because of the personnel issues.
It happens. You know, first game, first mistake that Katy's really made outside of the missed extra points. So, you know, hopefully he won't make them run Reliance Stadium stairs or anything like that, you know.
Before they get back on the bus tonight.
You know.
34-0 with 44 seconds to go here in the first half of play. Season opener for both of these teams, 0 week. And the season opener for us next week, Ken and Jay and I and the whole crew will be out at Wood Forest Stadium. We'll be watching the Hightower Hurricanes and the Woodlands Highlanders, and that should be an interesting matchup as well. The Woodlands going to be another good team here in the greater Houston area in Class 5A this year.
Yeah, it's going to be some great football going on across the area this season. And, man, you talk about some great matchups. You got Cinco and North Shore. Katy normally plays North Shore to begin the season. It's kind of been a tradition the last few years, but this time North Shore decided they wanted to take on the other power out in the Katy area, so they'll be taking on Cinco Ranch next week. So a lot of great action going on across the state.
Tigers come back to the line of scrimmage, got the personnel issues fixed. 3 receivers in this package, 2 split out to the right side. Here's a throw across the middle. It's Anderson again in the slot. He makes the catch at the 45-yard line, and that's a first down, and they'll move the chains.
Is there anything this kid cannot do? Again, Huddleston drops back all the time in the world, perfect pocket for him, and you look at that throw right between 3 defenders, and Anderson with a tremendous grab, 16 yards and a first down.
He may be as valuable to them as a slot receiver as he was as a runner last year.
Yep, absolutely.
Klein wants a timeout.
32 seconds to go here before.
This is just a reset.
Official's timeout.
Yep.
Okay. Clock will begin running now. Katy still with a pair of timeouts remaining here in the first half.
From the pistol, a little bit of a hiccup on the snap, and Huddleston's going to be tripped up and dropped for a loss. And getting into the backfield and tripping him up is Chris Howard. He's a sophomore linebacker, and he made a big play there. And that is going to take us down to 18 seconds. Katy's going to use a timeout.
Yeah, first big defensive play of the ball game. Not only did he get the sack, he also got Huddleston's towel.
Well, if you grab like the flag, the play's over, right?
Yeah, kind of like remember when that 12th man grabbed Tim Brown's towel in Cotton Bowl years ago? for A&M.
Absolutely.
Coming up at halftime, we'll look at some scores from around the area. Week 0, first week of high school action here across the great state of Texas, and a lot of great matchups going on across the area, and we'll take a look at those scores coming up for you at the break. Kind of give you a sneak peek of a couple of things going on right now. End of the first quarter, Cinco Ranch on top of Cy Ranch, 14-zip. And at halftime, Pearland up on Madison, 20-3.
Back here as the Tigers come back to the line of scrimmage, Huddleston single back in behind him. He will drop to throw, 3-step drop, looks, timing route, Fulks open, makes the catch inside the 20, slips a tackle, he's going to get into the end zone, touchdown.
Well, you put your best receiver, and if the defense leaves him one-on-one in a situation like that, you're kind of asking for trouble, and that was just too much to handle for J.P. Thompson, the junior cover guy for Katy.
Hey, guys, I do want to ask y'all something. If at this point, do you think that's running it up? Or are you, kind of a traditional and say, hey, whatever you can do in a half, they can do it in a half?
No, absolutely not. Not this early in the ball game. I mean, you have a 2nd and 20 seconds to go. If you're the defense, you got to know that they're going to throw the ball deep. You have to be playing some type of prevent defense, have 6 defensive backs, and you have to double team their best one-on-one guy.
Extra point attempt is good. Takes us up to 41-0. Takes Katy over the 300-yard mark for the first half of this ball game. Now we'll see. The other thing to consider is we may have just seen the final play for Mr. Huddleston on the night. We may see Coach Joseph go to some reserves here in the second half. We'll see how that shapes up, but 303 total yards of offense here in the first half for the Tigers, 11 for the Klein Bearkats.
Yeah, it's been unfortunate to say the least. First game here for Klein, but the key for Coach Hallmark now is to keep these guys motivated at halftime. They have to come out, play the second half like it's a 0-0 game. There's a lot of kids on this team. It's a non-district game, so this is a time where you find out who on your team has heart, who wants to continue to play, and there's a lot of spots up for grabs on that Klein side of the field. So when district play comes in a couple of weeks, he wants to know who his guys are that he can depend on when times get tough.
And now that 13-5A is a 9-team league, we'll talk a little bit more about that, but 9 teams, 8 district games. District season's going to come early. There's a squib kick. It's going to be falling on at the 32-yard line, and falling on top of it is Nick Catterley, the senior tight end. Be Klein's football with maybe time for 1 or 2 more plays here in the first half from their own 31-yard line. If you're Coach Hallmark here, do you just take a knee and head to the locker room, or do you try and see if you can make something happen?
Take a knee and get out of Dodge.
Hey, guys, I'm going to try to get a hold of Coach Joseph here. Anything specific that y'all would like me to ask?
No, we'll leave that to you, Jay.
Did he bring a fire extinguisher?
They're going to work from the shotgun here, hand it off, and it is Ham, I believe, has got the football, and he tries to carry it across the line of scrimmage.
Jay, if you would ask him about Adam Taylor, if he's happy with what he's seen from him so far coming back from his injury.
Here we go, joined by Coach Gary Joseph of Katy. Coach, you jumped out to a huge 41-0 lead early on. At what point do you start bringing in the twos? What do you tell your team here at halftime to keep them motivated?
Well, we sprinkled them in the first half anyway, and we're going to get the rest of them in. We'll come out the second half and start the second half with our regular group, and after that, we're going to get our other kids in. Now, they're quite experienced for them getting to play in this stadium. We're going to give them opportunity to.
Is there any other position that Rodney Anderson can play, Coach?
Lord, I hope not. But, I mean, we got to use the kid, and it's a great weapon. And, you know, like I said, we got the Taylor kid to compliment him. And, you know, our quarterbacks have done a good job of taking care of the ball right now. So, you know, it's just, you know, he's done a really fine job.
Thanks for the time, Coach.
Thank you.
All right, Jay, thank you. Thank you, Gary Joseph, as well. You know, you're going to get just about that from Gary Joseph. He's got a lot of talent, and man, it's shown here in the first half, 41-0 here at the half.
Yeah, absolutely. And Klein Bearkats, they got some work to do here at halftime. We'll take a break, come back, and give you some stats, give you some highlights, and also give you some scores from around the city when we return on Fox Football Friday.
If safety is your goal, Fabenco is your gate. Fabenco, the world's leading manufacturer of self-closing safety gates.
Halftime at Reliance Stadium here. It's 41-0. Katy Tigers leading Klein Bearkats here. Lonnie King along with Kim Moore back at Reliance Stadium. Ken, we knew Katy was good. We knew they were going to reload like they always do. They're off probably to as good a start as you can have in the first half of this one.
Well, probably better than expected, Lonnie, and everybody out there watching. Katy has been tremendous here in this first game here at Reliant. 41-0, but that doesn't even tell the entire story. When you look at it statistically, over 300 yards of total offense. They've held Klein to only 12 yards of total offense here in the first half. 16 first downs for Katy, only 1 first down for Klein, and that came on a penalty.
Yeah, and plenty of individual stars in the first half for Katy. Thinking first of all tonight of Adam Taylor in his comeback here in his senior season. He's had an excellent first half.
Well, I know a lot of people were holding their breath, wondering how Adam Taylor would take a hit. He's took a hit, and he's taken plenty tonight, but he has been tremendous here in the first half, grinding out about 5 yards per carry, really running hard between the tackles. He looked very solid in his first game back.
And you know there's got to be college recruiters all over the place tonight just licking their chops at the sophomore, Rodney Anderson. He burst onto the scene as a freshman last year, and tonight he's been a valuable contributor, both at running back, but really a little bit of a surprise as a slot receiver tonight as well.
Yeah, great job by Coach Gary Joseph finding a place to get Rodney Anderson involved in the ball game. He's played a lot at slot receiver here tonight. He's made some tremendous catches. 3 touchdowns here in the first half, 2 through the air, 1 on the ground. He has been tremendous in all facets of the ball game so far here in the first half.
Kyle Fulks had a big touchdown catch. Kylie Huddleston making his first start as a quarterback. Give me your thoughts about his performance in the first half.
Well, the young kid has showed a lot of poise here in the first half. He has not made any mistakes. He did have 1 pass that was almost intercepted, but other than that, he has been flawless. Coach Gary Joseph has called a very safe game plan for him in his first outcome, and he has performed it tremendously so far here in the first half.
Now, if you're the Klein Bearkats, you were hoping for a little bit better first half. They could not afford to make some mistakes, but they did in that first half, and it wound up being costly for them at times.
Yeah, definitely. One thing that Klein could not afford to do here in this ball game is turn the football over. Unfortunately, they did it twice here in the first half. Katy capitalized twice, both scoring touchdowns on both of those turnovers. They've also had a number of drop passes here in the first half. I think just the atmosphere of playing here in a big stadium like Reliant, playing against a tough team like the Katy Tigers has kind of overcome the Bearkats just a little bit here in the first half.
If there's been one bright spot, it's been the special teams, the return game tonight for the Bearkats, though.
Yeah, absolutely. They've had a lot of practice out of here tonight, and they've performed it very well. They've got a lot of big returns, and the one positive that Coach Hallmark can take from this game, his team has had great field position just about every time they've touched the football because they have gotten some good returns. The problem has been they haven't turned those good field position opportunities into points.
We'll see if they can do that in the second half. That's coming up. Katy leads here at the half, 41-0. The Tigers ahead of the Klein Bearkats. I'll have second half action for you when we come back from Reliance Stadium on Fox Football Friday. Halftime speeches are over. It's time for the second half. Katy Tigers come back out with a 6-touchdown lead, 41-0. The only blemish on the score sheet for them is a missed extra point back in the first quarter, but they've got, or check it early in the second quarter, but they've got a 41-0 lead. And Ken, they're going to get the football first here to start the second half. So we heard Gary Joseph tell Jay Darnell right before halftime that he was going to bring his starters out to start the second half. Probably won't have to play them for very long, though.
Yeah, I think he just wants to get them the feel of calming down, of cooling down when you go into the locker room, and then coming back out to start that second half to get that feel for having to get your battery re-energized and get that momentum going and get those juices pumping. Kind of almost like a third preseason game for NFL teams where they want to get their offense and defense a chance to go into the locker room and then get refreshed and come back out with that same intensity to start this second half.
Bearkats are set to kick it off. They're at the 40-yard line. Down to our left, Kyle Fall, a junior, will do the kickoff honors here, and he gets a toe into it. High, short kick, going to angle toward the far sideline, and it'll go out of bounds. And so Katy will have the option of a re-kick or spotting the football, and we'll see what the choice is going to be. Gary Joseph talking with the linesman. And again, our lead referee tonight, Joe Ray. Bill Arnold is the umpire. Steve Braswell, the head linesman. Line judge is Mike Mulcahy, and Andre Morgan is the back judge.
We'll take a look at some scores from around the area here tonight. Angleton on top of Montgomery at halftime, 14-7. And the update from Cy Ranch and Seco Ranch game, both of the top tailbacks in that game are out of the game for two different reasons. Cy Ranch running back Keith Ford, who's an Oklahoma commit, was kicked out of the ball game. And Jamal James, who's looking to go to Notre Dame, had an injured knee in the first half. So we'll try to get an update on those situations as we progress through the evening. Up in East Texas, Lufkin losing to John Tyler right now, 21-7 at the half. And unfortunately for the Panthers, they're playing their first game without legendary coach John Outlaw, who unfortunately passed away earlier this year. So a new regime in Lufkin, and they're struggling a little bit here tonight up in East Texas.
Foul gets a toe into the re-kick, and here it comes down at the 17-yard line. Taken by Anderson. He goes straight up the hash mark on the left side, out across the 35 to the 38-yard line, and that's where the Tigers will set up shop.
A couple other scores from around the area. Friendswood on top of Alvin in the second period, 22-zip. And Navasota leaving Willis at halftime, 21-zip.
Got a third quarter update. Memorial Stratford used to be a district battle between those two Spring Branch teams, but now a preseason, pre-district game for both of them, and it's a rivalry game. 34-7, though. Memorial with the advantage there over the Stratford Spartans. I formation for Huddleston and the Katy Tigers as they come out for the first play of the second half. And it's a handoff straight up the middle. Stacked up pretty good. That's Adam Taylor, no, Rodney Anderson. Or is that?
Yeah, it was
yeah,
Taylor.
that is Taylor. 28. The 8 and the 6s on those uniforms are going to be a little bit tough from this high up in the stands. But it's a gain of about 3, 2nd and 7 to come.
Now we'll see if Klein, what kind of intensity they come out here in this third period. 34 defense for the Bearkats.
Coonrod out wide to the left side and Dunn out to the right. Handoff, sweep play, goes to the right side. Taylor turns it up behind the blockers, gets out across the 45-yard line.
And again, just a little toss to the strong side, running behind his quarterback and his fullback. And good defensive play going down the line of scrimmage to make the tackle. Ethan Johnson, the big sophomore defensive lineman, making a good stop there to stop Taylor for a 3-yard gain. It'll be 3rd down and 3 as we go under the 10:45 mark here in the third period.
And this could be a big play for Klein if they can hold here on 3rd and short for their defense. A little morale booster. Huddleston play fake in the backfield. He's going to be wrapped up and dropped for a sack, and getting in there to make the hit, a second big play of the night for the young sophomore. It's Chris Howard, the linebacker from the outside.
Yeah, Chris Howard again, his 2nd sack of the evening, and he gets, I almost called him Brooks Hack, Kylie Huddleston in the backfield. And so now for the first time tonight, Katy will have to punt, and we'll get a chance to look and see what these two special teams units look like.
Yeah, for the first time, we'll take a look at them. Dropping back is Austin Adams. He's a 5'11 senior. And Othello Gibson is back deep to receive this one at his own 29-yard line, and the play clock runs down to 0. So we'll have a delay penalty called on the Tigers.
Score update from that Cy Ranch Seco Ranch game. Seco Ranch leading Cy Ranch 14-zip at the half.
Back the Tigers up 5 yards. Adams, high snap. Gets the kick away though. Wobbly end over end kick, and it's going to bound and go out of bounds along the Katy sideline at the 34-yard line, and that's where the Klein Bearkats will set up shop here. Look, I was going to say a little bit of a moral victory. Katy lost a yard on the first possession, so they're down to 3:02 here, and Klein will see if they can build after that defensive stand.
Yeah, well, they have a few yards to go to try to catch up to Katy. They only had 12 yards of total offense in the first half, 3 on the ground, 9 through the air. Only 1 first down, and that was on a personal foul penalty against Katy. So quarterback Rainer Osmus, the junior, see if he can get this offense going here in the second half.
Pitch back to Ham. He'll take it to the left side, looks for a block to turn it up, and he will stretch it out and get across the 35 to about the 38-yard line. That'll be close to a 5-yard pickup. Not bad yardage on first down.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what they would have liked to have seen in the first half, picking up some positive yardage on first down to try to put their offense in some manageable situations. Matt Diamond going down the line of scrimmage to make that tackle on Ham.
Spotted at the 38, so we'll call it a 4-yard gain. 2nd and 6 as they come back to the line of scrimmage. Clock rolls, 8:40 to go here in the third quarter of play. Motion back toward the line of scrimmage. Here's a delay, handoff Ham. And he will get a yard, maybe 2, out to about the 45-yard line. It'll bring up 3rd and 4 for the Bearkats. Klein last year 4 and 6 under head coach Shane Hallmark. Hallmark, of course, at Hightower took his team to a state championship in the Fort Bend ISD, or a state title game in the Fort Bend ISD. Had some talent down there at Hightower, and he's looking to repolish the program here at Klein in his 2nd season.
He's finding that jump from 4A to 5A is pretty significant.
Here's a toss, intercepted. Picked off by the Katy Tigers, slipping a tackle and taking it back inside the 25 down to about the 21-yard line is Carson Strickler, the outside linebacker. And I don't know what Osmus saw, but he did not see Carson Strickler.
Well, I saw a lot of red jerseys, and he threw it right in the middle of about 4 of them, tried to hit his receiver, Nick Cardale, the tight end, but he tried to drill it through 4 red shirts, and it was not to be. Strickler, his first interception of the season, first of the night. Katy back in control, 1st and 10 at the 21. 7:35 to go here at Reliance Stadium. Ken Moore with Lonnie King bringing it to action here on a Fox Football Friday night.
1st and 10 at the 21-yard line. Motion from the H-back, pitch back, and here's Ricky Bickham. We're seeing him for the first time, and he's going to be wrapped up and dropped in the backfield. 4-yard loss back to the 25-yard line. Bickham, a 5'5" senior.
Bickham had some tremendous games last year. He got a lot of playing time, picked up over 600 yards on the ground, averaged 8.7 yards a carry. So he can get to the second level quickly, and once he gets through, he's hard to bring down. Kind of a Maurice Jones-Drew clone, if you will.
Fulks and Dunn out wide to the left side of the formation. Huddleston rolls that way, pump fake. Now he's got to cut it loose to avoid the sack, and he does get rid of it. Throws it away, it's incomplete. But he almost was brought down in the backfield. Getting back there was Bobby Baker.
Well, one thing that Klein is doing, they're getting some pressure on the young quarterback. And Huddleston a couple of times got sacked. This time he had to throw it away. So defensively in the passing game, at least Klein making some adjustments, trying to get some pressure on the young QB.
Bickham thought he was going to check out of the game, but Anderson checks in, and obviously if Bickham stays out there, we'll probably see Anderson head to the slot, and we do, out to the left side of the formation.
Is he going to be covered? The defender's 15 yards off of him.
Huddleston, draw. He's going to take it up the field, cuts to the sideline. We've got a block in the back coming up, and this one will come back.
Yeah, guilty party that time. The Cameron Delgado out on the outside. You'll see it here coming up as Huddleston scrambles. He calls for a block, but he didn't want that kind of a block right in the back, right in front of the referee. So they'll back him up 15 from the spot of the foul.
So they'll step it off from the spot of the foul, which was down the field a little ways. So from the 14-yard line, they'll mark it off back to the 24. And it'll be 3rd down, and we'll call it 13 to go. They need to get down to the 11-yard line to keep the drive alive. Katy, though, with a 41-0 lead. And the clock temporarily stopped on the penalty with 6:38 to go. From the pistol, Huddleston hands it off. Bickham slips a tackle up the middle inside the 20, 15, and down to the 14-yard line. He got 10 of the 13 that he needed. It'll bring up 3rd and short.
Well, you see some of that explosiveness we talk about with Ricky Bickham. Once he gets to that second level, he's hard to bring down. Good tackle that time by B.J. Fashola, the defensive back. But not after Bickham picks up 11 yards to make it 4th down, and it's going to be 4th and about 2, and it looks like Katy's going to go for it.
Yep, they will send 2 receivers out to the left side of the formation. I formation in behind Huddleston. Sinclair, the fullback, in front of Bickham, who takes the fakes the handoff. Does Huddleston? He keeps it, and he's going to be wrapped up, just swallowed up. Klein did not bite on that fake handoff up the middle, and they stayed with Huddleston, and he is dropped for a loss.
Yeah, and that's one play that Brooks Hack ran so well for Katy last season, was that little play fake, that little bootleg. But Klein has scouted that particular play very well here tonight as they get their 3rd sack of the ball game, and Katy turns it over on down. So good defensive stand that time by the Bearkats.
1st and 10 for Klein. They'll take the ball back over at their own 21-yard line. 5:51 to go in the 3rd quarter. They trail 41-0. Come back to the line of scrimmage. Rainer Osmus is going to work from the shotgun this time. Twin backs in the backfield with him. One Klein Bearkat was late getting on the field, and they're going to have to call a timeout here. And coaches across the way are not happy at all about that. And they're doing a little bit of coaching as they huddle up there with the timeout on the field.
Yeah, you make a good defensive stand. Your offense has to be ready to go. They were not, so Bearcats forced to burn a timeout there. Look at a couple of other games from around the area. Klein Oak in a shootout leading Langham Creek at the half, 28-21. Pearland still leading Madison 20-0. Up north, Allen, defending state champs, leading South Lake Carroll 14-0. That game in the 2nd period.
Klein visits with the coaches over on the sideline. Now they come back to the line of scrimmage. 1st down and 10 from their own 21-yard line. Line up in the shotgun again. This time sent 2 receivers out to the left side, short side of the field. Throw, have a man across the way, and it's intended for Kenneth White, the senior. He was open, got underneath the coverage, but could not hang on to it. The throw was a little bit high.
Yeah, you see, he got some good protection that time. Had his receiver, really could have come down with that football. Kenneth White, the senior. You have a chance to help your quarterback out with a big play. Sometimes you have to go up and grab it. Falls incomplete. Second down and 10.
2nd down from the 21-yard line. They'll line up almost in the same formation. 2 receivers out to the short side of the field in movement. And this one is going to be a dead ball foul and move Klein back 5 yards.
Well, next week, the Bearcats will return to Klein Memorial Stadium, where they will take on Katy Taylor. That'll be 7 o'clock next Friday night at Klein Memorial. And for Katy next week, they'll return to Rhodes Stadium, where they'll take on A-Leaf Taylor. First home games for both teams next week.
That will be a good matchup there. Taylor has a lot of talent on their team this year. Here's a rollout. Osmus wants to throw, has White again, and underthrew him this time. Overthrew him a little bit the last time, and White had to kind of hold up. He was freed up on his route down the field.
Well, Klein has had some opportunities in the passing game this evening. They had a couple of drops in the first half by the tailback, Othello Gibson. A couple of opportunities here in the 3rd period. And they had that big touchdown, potential touchdown by Mac Odom when he was wide open on the far side of the field early in the ball game. That was also dropped. So they've had their opportunities. They just have not been able to make the connections.
3rd down, 15 to go from their own 16-yard line. Big play to come here. Set up 3 receivers to the short side. And no time at all for Osmus. He is dumped in the backfield at the 12-yard line, sacked, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Yeah, looks like busting through that time. Let's check it out. Coming from the left side, big defensive end, just barrels through the line. Big number 95. And
Tim Wilkerson.
Yeah, got to go deep down the depth chart to find him. Mr. Wilkerson coming through, making a play.
Wilkerson's a junior, 6'2", 210. Got some good size to him. Looks like Mac Odom this time is going to drop back in deep formation to punt this ball away, and gets it off the side of his foot. A wobbly spiral. Takes a Klein roll, though, and it'll roll across the 50-yard line and be downed at the 49, and that's where the Katy Tigers will take over. So we saw Sam Odom punting in the first half. Mac Odom punts that time for the Bearcats.
And both teams trying to explore their depth. Special teams as well, so they'll know what they have to build upon as they head on down the line in this 2012 season.
And Andrew Inglet is going to be out at quarterback now. So Huddleston's night is over. And Inglet, the senior, will take over, and a little bit of confusion, it looks like, for the Tigers on offense as they finally get set. Clock down to 2 on the play clock. Pitch back to Ricky Bickham. Almost bobbled it, but he hangs on. Gets the corner, tries to turn it, and he'll stretch it out for about 3.
Good play that time by linebacker Sterling Bennett. Again, trailing down the line of scrimmage, keeping containment, using the sideline as an extra player and forcing Bingham out of bounds.
Guys, let me tell you something about Bickham. Last week against Klein Collins in the scrimmage, he scored 2 times. And Adam Taylor did not play. Rodney Anderson did not score at all. That tells you how good he is.
2nd down and 8 from the 49. Inside Klein territory. Here's Bickham tripped up at the line of scrimmage. There's that sophomore again. Howard in there. Chris Howard makes the play, tripped him up in the backfield. He falls forward for a couple down to the 48. We'll call it 3rd and 7 to come here.
And you talk about that quarterback battle that went on this spring between Inglet and Huddleston. Huddleston, the junior, beat out Inglet, the senior, for the starting quarterback job, but we're sure to see Andrew Inglet get a lot of run at quarterback this season.
He's under center now with the I formation behind him. Play fake to Bickham, rolls out to his right and loses the football. Has it stripped by Howard, and Klein says they have it, and they do. Chris Howard got there, stripped the football, and it's recovered by Martin Rossetto, a junior defensive lineman who makes the pickup.
Well, another sack for that Klein defense, and another great play. That's the 3rd sack of the night for Chris Howard, as he has just had an uncharted path to the quarterback, particularly here in the second half.
Guys, I'm not sure that should have been a fumble recovery, because I believe his foot was out of bounds. And that official down there, you know, he's missed 2 or 3 calls already. That was a bad one right there.
Well, now, Jay, are you going to be for the officials or against the officials? See?
I mix it up.
Shotgun formation. David Ham takes a handoff, cuts it back to his right. Finds some yardage down to about the 41-yard line. Wound up with 5 yards on the 1st down carry, and it's 2nd and 5.
And he was a shoestring away from possibly, if not taking that one to the house, at least picking up a nice chunk of yardage. But a good open field tackle in the secondary by Katy holds him to a 5-yard gain.
At the 41-yard line. Shotgun formation this time. 2-back set, handed off. Ham again, dodges a tackler. Gets down to the 40, got a yard, and then that's going to be about it. Trying to find that hole to open up, and it never quite did. It'll be 3rd down and 4.
When you have big number 94, Matt Diamond, clogging up the middle, it's going to make it pretty difficult to pick up any extra yardage.
You know, speaking of Diamond, I'm a little surprised that he's still in the ball game. I mean, this guy is an all-state caliber player. The game is clearly over. I'm a little surprised that he's still in there.
May just be a matter of getting some snaps. They didn't get a lot of defensive snaps in the first half.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Shotgun formation, single back, Ham off the right shoulder of Osmus. He wants to throw across the middle. It's batted up in the air, and it'll hit the turf. But just suspended there for a minute after number 44, Jake Blomstrom, or check it, I don't have a 44 on my roster. Tyler Willock made the play coming up the middle.
Yeah, good play by Willock. Saw that he couldn't get to the quarterback. All defensive linemen are taught to get their hands up. If you can't get to the quarterback, he's able to make the deflection, cause an incompletion, and it's going to be 4th down and 5 for the Bearcats, and they'll go for it just shy of the 40-yard line of Katy.
And
still, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say might as well.
Yep, still looking for their first down on their own without penalty.
Here's a throw over the middle, and he had a receiver. It was Othello Gibson, and threw behind him, and it falls incomplete, and the ball will go back over to Katy. Well, that looked like it could very well be the first down that they've gained outside of the penalty. As Gibson came open across the middle. We've seen that a couple of times tonight where the receivers have been either over the top of the defense or underneath. They've been open across the middle, and he just has not been able to connect.
Yeah, Osman's having a rough night tossing the football around.
Still just 9 yards passing for the Bearcats. Bickham takes a handoff from England as they take over on downs, and he's out across the 40 to the 43. Pickup of 3 yards on the carry. Second down, we'll call it 7 to go.
You see Bickham again over the right side. Got a good kick out block from his fullback. He's met in the hole once again. Chris Howard having a tremendous game defensively here, particularly in this second half for Klein. He's one kid that's come to play here in the second half. He's making a name for himself here tonight.
Yeah, just a sophomore, so kind of put that name in your memory bank, and we'll keep an eye on him for a while. Here's a handoff straight up the middle. Fullback takes it, and was it bobbled for a minute?
It looks like it was. It was recovered by one of the offensive linemen, Ben Scribonic. Excuse me.
Tim Winders was the ball carrier, a 5'11 senior backup fullback. He took it to about the 48-yard line, bobbled it. But Katy keeps possession, and it's third down and a long 2 to go from just shy of the 48-yard line. 2 tight end set. Pitch sweep goes to the left side. Bickham gets the carry. He gets a couple. He's going to be wrapped up shy of the first down marker, though, so it's going to be fourth down for the Tigers.
We'll see if they elect to give their special teams a little work or if they'll go for it again here on fourth down. England comes over to talk to the offensive coordinator, and looks like they're giving them a play to take back in. So
got a timeout on the field, and so we'll take it with them. It's 41-0. Katy with the lead as the third quarter comes to an end on Fox Football Friday.
Bigger. No. Bigger still. Ah. It's good to be king. This fall, experience king-size dining, shopping, merriment, and more at the Texas Renaissance Festival. Discount tickets are on sale now at Randall's, Walgreens, Wood Forest National Bank, and online at TexRenFest.com. The Texas Renaissance Festival. Choose your own adventure.
Fourth down as we come back to action here to start the fourth quarter, and Katy will punt the ball away. And a high wobbly spiral going to come down at the 17-yard line. Fair catch signal for by Othello Gibson. They'll call it the 18, and that's where the Klein Bearkats will take over. So the defense here in the second half for Klein has toughened up a little bit against the Katy Tigers, and admittedly Katy has taken out some of their starters, but we've seen Klein pick up the pace a little bit on the defensive side of the ball. Still, though, haven't been able to accomplish anything offensively.
Yeah, that's the one area that they're definitely going to have to work on when they go from week 0 into week 1, is trying to get that passing game on tack, trying to get that running game going, but they have looked very good here defensively here in the second half. Getting some pressure on the quarterback, even forced a turnover.
Center Zach Felice over the football and snaps it back to Mac Odom, who's in at quarterback. He hands it off to Ham, and Ham out of the shotgun A little power play to the right side, gets out across the 30 to the 31, and hey, that's a first down.
Woo-hoo, break out the bubbly. Pop open your favorite soda can. First down for the Bearcats. Good running, good pull that time by the offensive guard. Estrada Alfredo Estrada. Reverse that. Get it correct.
Odom comes out in the shotgun formation, and Klein, though, has to call a timeout again. I think the personnel out on the field didn't match the play that the coaches had called, and so they're going to talk it over. See the Klein cheerleaders on hand here, still supporting their team, and the band across the way as well.
It's all the festivities that make for Friday night football. A lot of these other members of the school put in a lot of time throughout the summer, the early portion of the season, to get ready. The band, the pep squads, cheerleaders, to all make it a festive evening across the state, particularly here at Reliance Stadium here tonight.
While we've got a second, we want to say a special thanks to the athletic directors from both these school districts, Debbie Decker of the Katy ISD and Teresa Anderson of the Klein ISD. We appreciate their help in helping us get this one out tonight.
Ham.
Here's Ham out into the secondary, one man to beat, and he's going to be wrapped up and dropped down by Isaiah Brown, but a big gain into Katy territory down at the 31-yard line.
You see Ham going ham around the right side as he gets through some nice blocks out front. Tremendous block by the wide receiver on the outside. He only had one man to beat. Good tackle by Isaiah Brown, bringing him down at the 31-yard line, but a big 30-yard run for Ham.
That doubled the total offense for the Klein Bearcats.
2 plays, 2 first downs.
First and 10 at the 31, and a whistle and a flag before the snap.
Well, penalties can be drive killers. We'll see who this one is against.
False start on the Bearcats, back them up 5 yards.
10:58 to go here, fourth period. Ken Moore with Lonnie King, and you know Lonnie, Katy would love nothing more than preserve that shutout here in the opening week of the season. But Klein trying to force the action, trying to see if they can get into the end zone.
And that would be something of a moral victory right now. Mac Brown, check it, Mac Odom, play fake. And he dodges a would-be tackler, still on his feet, has a hole up the middle, now cuts back to the sideline, inside the 20, 15, going to be bumped out of bounds at the 10-yard line. Isaiah Brown again there to make the stop, but what an athletic play by Mac Odom.
Yeah, Odom, a tremendous effort in the backfield just to get out of harm's way. He picks up 21 yards, but watch it here. Gets some pressure there. Good block by his offensive tackle. Then it's like, oh boy, I'm in trouble. Now he finds some room in the middle of the field and he takes off like a little Bearcat trying to get to the corner of the end zone before he's pushed out of bounds. But it'll be first and goal for the Bearcats just inside the 10.
They're up almost to 100 yards of offense, and most of it has been on this drive. There's a handoff stacked up in the backfield. I think that was Gibson who was in at running back that time. No, check it, it's still Ham. He's still out there. And he is dropped for a couple of yards lost. Bring up second and goal, mark it at the 12-yard line.
But it's kind of what we talked about at halftime. Coach Hallman wanted to see if his team would come out with some fight here in the second half. And he has to be very proud the way his team has come out and fought here against Katy in this third and fourth quarter.
2 backs. Quarterback Odom in the shotgun. Play fake to Ham. He's going to keep it himself. Tries to get the corner. Turns it at the 10, but he's stretched out and bumped out of bounds. Just could not quite get to the edge and turn it upfield. but it'll be 3rd and goal from the 10.
Yeah, good pursuit that time. He fakes the inside handoff, keeps it himself, but a lot of pursuit on that far sideline, making the tackle coming up. Tanner Ebright forcing him out of bounds. So it's going to be 3rd and goal for the Bearcats from the 10.
They send White out, split out to the right side of the formation. Now Landor's going to come out wide to the left side. 2-back set in the shotgun. Hand it off. Cut back. It is Ham. He's going to get down to the 5-yard line. Got about half of what he needed, but it's going to bring up 4th and goal from there.
Do you take the points with the field goal just to get off the 0, or do you try to punch it into the end zone?
Well, it looks like the decision's been made. Odom goes over to the sideline to get the play called, and he's coming right back into the huddle. And they're going for it here on 4th and goal.
Yeah, why not?
Roll under the 9-minute mark to go in this one. Katy with a 41-0 lead, but Klein trying to dent the scoreboard for the first time here on 4th down at the 5-yard line. Play fake. And keeping is Odom, but he's going to be wrapped up. Just nothing there. That play was too slow to develop, and he'll be dropped for a 2-yard loss. And Katy will keep the shutout intact for now.
Yeah, the timing wasn't there between Ham and the quarterback, Mac Odom. A little miscommunication that time, and that let Katy defense penetrate, coming in to make the stop. Number 38, Marshall Duron, and Katy will take over on downs at their own 7-yard line. 8:39 to go here, 4th quarter from Reliance Stadium in Houston. Katy on top of Klein, 41-0.
Klein's finally up over the 100-yard mark for this ball game. And they're up to 4 first downs, but no score to show for it on that good drive. And back out there, Anglet hands it off on 1st down. Bickham with the carry, and he takes it to the left side, out across the 10 to about the 12. Call it the 11. We'll give him 4 yards on the game, 2nd and 6.
Yeah, now you're starting to see wholesale substitutions for Katy now as they dig deep into the depth chart. Try to get everybody some playing time here tonight.
Hand it off, tailback. Takes it to the right side of the formation this time, and that is number 35, and that's DeMonte Davenport, senior running back, 5'10", 195 pounds. He gets a couple of yards out to the 15. It'll be 3rd down. We'll call it 2 to go.
A lot of these running backs for Katy could be starting on a lot of other teams around the city.
And right now their job is just to eat up some clock, and they're going to try to throw on 3rd down. And the pass is deflected, batted down, and it'll fall incomplete. And just as we talk about eating up clock, they stop the clock with an incomplete pass.
Well, I think Coach Joseph wants to see England have a little bit of success here in the second half. He got sacked a couple of times at the fumble, so he wants to get something positive under his belt because he knows he's going to need him at some point this season.
So it'll be 4th down. They can't convert on 3rd and 2, and so they'll send the punter back out there. And it's Austin Adams. Adams lines up at his own 3, takes a snap, gets a high spiraling kick, and won't turn over, so it's going to come down and take a favorable bounce for the Klein Bearkats.
Why is that Bearcat diving in there for the ball? Like, hey, so you see his coach going nuts on the sideline, like, what are you doing?
He's getting a little bit of an earful right now, but that's another one of those first game things that in your exuberance, you're at Reliance Stadium. Hey, you're out there on the field on special teams. You see a football
you on
the turf.
On it,
you
right?
want to go for it, right?
Yep. Been there, done that. Got to coach him up, and he did, and he will.
Ball's going to be at the 37-yard line in Katy territory, so good starting field position here for the Bearcats as Odom comes back out. And he'll work from under center as they come straight to the line of scrimmage. In the backfield with him, Ryan Harrison, the fullback. And it is Ham, the tailback. Check it, Othello Gibson. Has a man down the field as Kenneth White makes the catch inside the 10, out of bounds at the 5-yard line. First and goal, Klein Bearkats.
33-yard pass play. That time, right on the money, just a little underthrown. If he leads the receiver, he probably has a touchdown. He has to come back for the football, but a good catch that time by Kenneth White, and Klein in business. First and goal at the 5.
Bring it to the line of scrimmage, send a receiver out to either side, Landor out to the left, White out to the right. Corners come up, tight man coverage. And now here's a handoff, touchdown. It's Othello Gibson on the carry, and he's into the end zone for the first score of the season for the Klein Bearkats.
Well, you got to really feel good for Othello Gibson. He had some tough moments in the first half. Fumbled one ball, had a couple of drop passes. To see him get in the end zone, you have to feel really good for that senior tailback.
41-6. 6:55 to go in this ball game, and on to attempt the extra point, Kyle Fowl, the junior. Snap is down, the kick is up, and it splits the uprights, and our new score is 41-7. So a short punt by the Katy Tigers, a big 33-yard pass completion from Mac Odom to Kenneth White sets up a touchdown run by Othello Gibson. Klein is on the scoreboard.
Guys, it's really good to see Klein finally score, and you would think by seeing the fans and all the reactions here that they just took the lead in this ball game here. But it's really good to see, though, that they're still into like that.
Yeah, absolutely. You don't want to come in and get shut out, especially in Reliance Stadium. You want to have some positive to talk about, especially when you go back in the film study on Monday. You want to give these kids some positive to look at, and they can say, hey, right now we've won this second half against one of the best teams in the state. So you have to break it down into segments like that when you're talking about a young football team like Klein, and give them something to build on going into next week's game against Katy Taylor.
Well, they will send the kickoff unit out. Fowl will lead him out with the tee, and he will kick it off at the 40-yard line down to our right. Katy doesn't think that they're going to go with a conventional kick here. They've got 9 guys up within 10 yards of the 50, so they look like they maybe expect an onside kick here. Foul lines his teammates up, checks them, and now gets a running start, and he will kick it away. It's going to come down at about the 15-yard line. And taking it is Isaiah Brown, starts to his right, now finds a lane back to the left, slips a tackle, looks, takes it across the 40, waits for a block, and he's out to midfield. And a nice return for the Katy Tigers, going to set him up at the 49-yard line of Klein.
And you talk about a block, he got a tremendous block from Trey Dunn. As you see Brown going to his left, has nothing there, comes back to his right. And you'll see the block just out of our vision here on the replay. There it is right there. Big hit right there. And Brown takes it down inside the 50 to the 49. Nice return.
England out there at quarterback. He's going to hand it off, and taking the handoff this time is Andrew Soto, a senior running back, 5'10", 175 pounds. And Soto will carry it down close to the 45-yard line. Give him 4 on the carry, 2nd down and 6 to come.
How many tailbacks does this team have? Goodness gracious.
Well, this is the 5th one we've seen already tonight. Soto, this time they'll give it a handoff to the fullback, and carrying it on the quick hitter is Chris Harper. Or check it, that is Delgado. Now, we've had a couple of numbers on different spots tonight, and we got a 19 there with no name on his back. That could be Delgado, who's listed on as number 9 on our depth chart, but he's not on the roster, and that may be Chris Harper.
Yeah, we got Harper and Delgado both listed as 19, so
we'll see. And there's a handoff. This time it's Soto back out there. That's easier because there's only 133. And we see his name on the back of his jersey. So Soto carries it forward for a couple of yards.
You got so many players, you got to double up your numbers. You know that you're a very deep team.
And right now they're just trying to eat up some clock, as we talked about earlier. Here's a pitch back. It goes to Soto again. He carries it inside the 30. And he will take it down to the 29-yard line. 3 or 4 yards each carry, and if they just keep this up, move the chains, they'll eat up a lot of this remaining clock. I would think if you're Klein, you could take a little bit of a victory away if you can keep them out of the end zone here.
Yeah, absolutely. We go under 5 minutes, 4:50 and counting here in the fourth period from Reliant. Katy in control, 41-7.
High formation. Soto gets a handoff, has a hole open up on the right side, gets it down to about the 25-yard line.
Another first down for Katy. That's their 17th first down of this ball game. They have about 345 yards of total offense so far. Had over 300 at the break, so they've slowed down. They've taken their foot off the gas here in the second half, but some good defense for Klein as well.
First and 10 from the 25. Soto wrapped up from behind and sneaking in there from the backside to make the stop. Number 53, Brian Sowers, the senior D lineman.
Got a new quarterback in the game for Katy as well, Josh Williams, in the ball game now. So he will probably close the show here the last 4 minutes of the ball game. 3:50 on the clock.
But he's going to throw on first down, has a receiver, and it is complete inside the 10-yard line, and that's Andy Coonrod, junior wide receiver, who makes the catch.
Well, when you look at the quarterback play for Katy tonight, you may have some concerns. Huddleston looked good early on, but he did have one pass that was nearly picked off. Both quarterbacks got sacked, a total of 4 sacks tonight for Klein, so that's almost unheard of against a Katy offensive line.
Here's the pitch back. It's Soto. He's going to take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Katy Tigers.
That's got to feel good for that young man. Getting into the end zone, Andrew Soto. You'll see it here, man in motion to the left. They run the toss sweep back to the right, and he just goes right behind. Oh, great block by the quarterback. Josh Williams leading the way, chops down a defender at the goal line to spring Soto into the end zone.
Extra point attempt is up, and it is good. Added by Mendoza, and that makes our score now 48-7. 3:18 to go in this ball game. Katy firmly in control over the Klein Bearkats. We'll take a break and come back on Fox Football Friday.
Open a Texans checking account with First Community Credit Union, and you could win a trip to the big game in New Orleans. Just visit TexansChecking.com and open your account. Signing up is easy and free. You'll get a customized Texans debit card. And best of all, you could win a trip to New Orleans for the big game or other great prizes like trips to Texans road games and the 2013 draft in New York City. Be a fanatic. Visit TexansChecking.com and sign up for your chance to win. First Community Credit Union, the official credit union of the Houston Texans.
Katy Tigers have just capped off a drive with a touchdown run from Andrew Soto, senior running back for the Tigers. He's a senior, but he's on number 5 on the depth chart at the tailback spot. So in the opener of his final season for the Katy Tigers, he will pick up a score. He will be in the box score, so that's a nice little treat for a senior.
Absolutely. Get to score a touchdown at Reliance Stadium. Not bad to put on your resume. Put in your archive. Show your grandkids one day, hey, I played at Reliant. You know, scored a touchdown.
Short squib kick falling on at the 36-yard line, and that's where the Bearcats will take over, and they will send Mac Odom back out there. He's done a pretty good job since coming in here in the second half at quarterback, and he will lead them out to the line of scrimmage again. 1st and 10, 3:17 to go. Pump fake, he wants to throw, has a receiver, it's wide, and he just could not stretch up and catch it.
Jeez Louise, he had that one wide open, and that was another touchdown dropped. I mean, when they go back and look at the tape, the Bearcats, they're going to find some wide open receivers. Passes just a little overthrown, but you have to come down with that football.
Stops the clock, 3:11 to go. 2nd and 10 from the 36-yard line. Katy's going to pick up their first win here in the opener. They'll be 1-0, and for Katy, that is not an uncommon position to be in. Very rarely do they lose an opener. Klein still going to try to move the football here with 3 minutes and some change remaining. Odom flushed out of the pocket, puts it on his hip, and he'll take it up across the 45, bumped out of bounds right near the stick at the 46-yard line, and he may have done enough to get a first down there.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty close. They will move the chains. First down, 10-yard run, and Odom, he has some wheels. He can really scoop.
Joe Ray said, we're not going to waste a lot of time measuring this one. We'll just move the sticks and keep the drive alive. Stop the clock, 3:02 to go in this ball game, and another first down, the 7th of the game for the Klein Bearcats. Katy calls for a timeout, so the coaches will take a minute to talk it over with their team.
And we'll take a look at a few scores from around the area. LaPorte defeats Clearbrook tonight, 20-14. Let's see if we can find a few more. Cinco Ranch leading Cy Ranch 21-6, that game in the 4th quarter. Just goes slowly trickle in here on the scoreboard tonight. Langham Creek leading Klein Oak 35-28, 2:28 to go in the 3rd quarter there. And up north, Allen shutting out South Lake Carroll 21-zip, that one in the 3rd period.
Whoa. Kid Moore, could you please repeat those last two? Those were shocking to me.
Allen 21-zip over South Lake Carroll.
Wow.
South Lake Carroll in 0. You don't hear that in the same breath.
No,
too
you do
often.
not.
And Langham Creek, they got a high-powered offense out there in 19-5A. They're leading Klein Oak right now, 35-28, late in the 3rd.
That's very, very impressive. They need their defense to step up, and apparently it's doing the job just well enough right now.
So far, so good.
Odom gonna throw downfield, has a man, and knocked away at the last minute. It's broken up. And the intended receiver that time was Samir Abdulrahim, the senior wide receiver. And he was open for a minute, but nice job, good close at the end there by Delgado to come in and knock the ball away.
Deer Park leading Clear Lake 29-6, that game in the 4th period.
2nd down and 10 here as the Bearcats come back to the line of scrimmage. Odom lines up under center. 2 receivers out to the right side, the formation. Play fake, backside pressure, and the ball is on the floor, and it's going to be picked up by a Klein Bearcat. Odom did not see the pressure coming from his blind side at all.
You got to have that clock in your head. Feel that pressure, try to move out of the pocket. He was unable to do so on that play. Suffered the consequences. It's going to be 3rd down and 11 back at the 45 as we approach the 2:20 mark here on opening night, Texas High School Football 2012.
3rd down and 11. They need to get to the 44 in Katy territory if they're going to keep the drive alive here. Hand it off. It's Othello Gibson. Has a hole, cuts it back, and he's inside the 45 down to about the 41-yard line. And, again, just one possible breakaway from taking that one all the way.
Yeah, Colin Wilder saves the touchdown as he just grabs him around the ankle and wouldn't let go. Looked like a little rodeo action out here, Reliant.
Not that time of the year yet. That's a few months away.
Yeah, I'm feeling some turkey legs and brisket right about now. Yeah, it's been a long night.
Here's a fake handoff. Keeper by Odom, and he's got a big lane down the sideline inside the 20, bumped out of bounds at the 14-yard line.
Nice play fake that time by Mac Odom as he takes it around the right side. He had nothing but green field turf in the front of him. He got finally chased down inside the 15-yard line. Good angle taken on the play that time. Coming up to make the stop, Chris Harper or Cameron Delgado, whichever 19 it was that time on the play. We'll let them share. We'll give them each half a tackle on the play.
Well, Odom is making a case for some more playing time maybe next week. And here's a handoff on 1st down at the 14. This one's going to be negative yardage. Wrapped up in the backfield is Othello Gibson. Dropped back at about the 18-yard line. 4-yard loss on the play. You know, we never did get to really go in depth about the quarterback situation at Klein, but Alex Smith was a quarterback as a junior last year for the Klein Bearkats. Decided as a senior he wants to concentrate on baseball, which is, of course, his right to do, but left an opening here. And tonight, both the junior Austin Rayner and Rayner Osmus, and now the sophomore Mac Odom have seen some playing time and have been able to get some quality snaps out on the field. That one's thrown away just to avoid the sack.
Well, especially playing against one of the top-ranked defenses in the state, the Katy Tigers. It's definitely going to be a learning experience for both of these guys. And Odom has really done a tremendous job here operating the zone read out of the shotgun and making some good decisions, pulling the ball at certain times, showing some good footwork and some good speed as well. If they can start working on that passing game a little bit, they can probably make a little bit of noise out in 13-5A this season.
And Shane Hallmark's got to be thinking, as a sophomore, Odom is showing some promise in what he might be as a junior or senior down the road. Here's a throw to the corner and knocked away at the last second. Again, the intended receiver down there looks like Abdel Rahim. And it was number 11 down there in the corner. He was open again for a minute. The ball just did not get there in time, hung up a little bit.
Yeah, let's take a look. I thought he actually put it on the money. We'll take a look here on the replay. And, yeah, I mean, it hits him right in the hands. He's got to catch that football. That's about 7 drop passes at least tonight, and about 3 of them could have been potential touchdown plays for Klein. So, again, they're going to have to get the guys on those jugs, as they call them, the receiving machines, and maybe get them over to one of the local athletic stores and get them some gloves, and maybe call Fred Belitnikov, get some sticky glue.
Whatever it takes. Delay a game on the 4th down snap there, and so the task just got a little bit stickier for the Bearkats.
Only 40 seconds to go, so if they don't get it here, it'll be a turnover and downs, and Katy will just take a knee to run it out. But you got one more opportunity to try to get into the end zone. They can pick up a 1st down just inside the 5-yard line.
48-7 under center. Odom, play fake. Flush,
throw it.
and stays on his feet. Gets it away, and the ball is tipped and knocked away. And it will fall to the turf, and that'll be it for the Bearcats. Fourth down play, not converted. And again, Abdel Rahim, who's got some good size, but just hadn't been able to reel it in the last couple of attempts.
Again, showing some good athleticism to get away from pressure and just throw it up, give his receiver an opportunity. Just couldn't come down with a good defensive play in the secondary by Katy.
So it'll be first down for the Tigers. The clock stops with 29 seconds. That means we've got one more snap in this ball game. Williams and company are going to come out, line up in the I formation, but I'll be surprised if he does anything. But, well, he hands it off. I was going to say take a knee, but it's a handoff to the tailback, and he will just carry it up the field, and the clock will set in motion, and we're down under 20 seconds to go. And the Katy Tigers are going to win this one 48-7 over the Klein Bearkats here in the High School Football Kickoff Classic at Reliance Stadium. And we've been happy to bring it to you here on Fox Football Friday as these two teams will come across and the coaches will meet at the 45-yard line.
Well, a good second half by Klein. We talked about at halftime how they would come out if they would show some heart, show some fight. I think Coach Hallmark will be very impressed with the effort that his guys gave here in the second half. Basically playing Katy to a tie, 7-7 in the second half. Now that they get to go back to the drawing board now, try to correct some mistakes that they made here in this ball game. And they're going to give some teams some problems out in that district this year. If they can show up some areas, continue to play hard, continue to learn from their mistakes, it's not going to be a walkthrough against Klein this season.
Gary Joseph and company, on the other hand, are making a statement in District 19 5A, and Coach Joseph is down on the field, and he's alongside Jay Darnell, and we'll see if we can get a minute or two with the winning coach here tonight.
Go ahead, Jay. Jay may be having a little equipment problem there. As we look at a couple of the stats, Katy 379 yards of total offense, and I think we got Jay with coach now. Go ahead, Jay. Yeah, Jay's still having some problems with his mic, so we'll go through the stats right now and see if Jay can get that problem corrected. But Katy dominating the game tonight, 379 yards of total offense, 189 on the ground, 190 through the air. You can't ask for a better split run-to-air ratio than that, almost a 50-50 split. Klein had a very good second half. They only had 12 yards of total offense in the first half. And in the second half, they boosted that up to 143, 41 yards, 184, 143 on the ground, 41 through the air, 9 first downs on the ball game for Klein.
Yeah, and the way things looked at halftime, 12 total yards, 1 first down, and it was just the only first down was on a penalty. You'd have to say the way things look now as far as the numbers on the scoreboard for Klein, a very impressive second half. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll see if we can get with Coach Gary Joseph and Jay Darnell.
I think I got him right now.
All right. Here he comes, and there's Jay.
Okay, now we got Coach Joseph. Coach, 48-7. I mean, did you even expect such a dominating performance by your first teamers in that first half?
Well, no, you can't ever expect it. You know, I was glad to see it. And, you know, I knew we were capable of doing some things, and I'd seen some other practice. You know, the kids really came out and played well at the beginning of the game, and they played like they were supposed to.
Well, Coach, I've interviewed you a couple of times, but I know even with this kind of win, what did you see that you want to fix for next week?
Well, you know, the thing that I was disappointed in, our kickoff coverage, we've got to really address, and we're going to talk about that, and we'll get it taken care of. And that intensity with which we came out the second half, you know, and I know it's hard to have some intensity and things, But, you know, you get to a situation, you know, we were going to try to play our kids a series and then get everybody else in, and we had to go 2 just to kind of sit there and get everybody kind of reestablished. But, you know, they have to understand, you know, how important it is the first series, the second half, and being able to take care of business.
Coach, thanks for the time, and congratulations on being 1-0.
Well, thank you. That's great. Appreciate it.
Lonnie, back up to you.
So the Katy Tigers come away 48-7 winners here in their season opener. And for the Tigers and head coach Gary Joseph, very impressive first half for sure, and they've got to be satisfied with getting some work in for their backups in the second half.
Yeah, absolutely. Coach Joseph he mentioned at halftime that he wanted to try to get some of his second and third teamers in. We even saw the fourth and fifth string in late in that fourth quarter. So he definitely wanted to get his team a lot of work, get them some experience, especially some of those seniors who don't get a chance to play a lot. Give them the opportunity to play here at a stadium like Reliance Stadium. Give them that experience. We saw Andrew Soto get in at the end of the ball game. It was tremendous to see him get into the end zone. So a lot of experience gained for the Katy Tigers here tonight.
For Klein, we were searching for positives in the first half. A little easier to find those in the second half. They did some good things after halftime.
Well, we did talk about at halftime that Coach Hallmark was going to try to find out if his team had heart, if they had fight. We found out that they did in the second half. They basically played Katy to a 7-7 tie in the second half. They had a lot of pressure on the defensive side of the football, had 4 sacks in that second half, even caused a turnover. So they played tremendous in that second half. So I think Coach Hallmark, when he goes back and looks at the tape, he's going to find a lot of positives to pull out of that second half for his ball club.
Klein will go on to face another Katy ISD team next week. They'll do it on their home field out at Klein Memorial Stadium, take on the Katy Taylor Mustangs. Meanwhile, the Katy Tigers, they've got another tough matchup, this time against A-Leaf Taylor. A-Leaf Taylor may be a little bit of an unknown commodity to some of the people in the area, but that's a talented team that Katy's going to go up against next week.
Well, they always have a lot of great athletes out at A-Leaf Taylor. They can fly around, they can run to the football, and one thing that they're going to hone in on when they look at this tape is how Klein was able to get in the backfield, how they were able to apply pressure in the second half, and that's one thing that they're going to try to do themselves when they take on Katy next week at Rhodes Stadium.
So that's going to wrap it up from here at Reliance Stadium. Opening week victory for the Katy Tigers, 48-7 is our final score. For Jay Darnell, for Ken Moore, I'm Lonnie King, thanking you for being with us tonight. Our opener here on Fox Football Friday. We'll see you next week from Wood Forest Stadium as the Hightower Hurricanes take on the Woodlands Highlanders. And until then, so long, everybody.